and we're going to call the meeting to order at 6:35 p.m. Gina is on the line. She is muted, but
hi, everybody.
Will say hi, Gina. And we have a handful of other people that might be calling in today. They should know that they are muted. And at the end of the meeting, there's a chat version if anybody needs to speak at the time. Upstairs, all right. So we got a lot of us today. Great. Hello. We don't have a huge crowd, but it doesn't mean more people won't come in. But welcome, guys. I'm glad you're here. We can go down really quick and introduce ourselves just so you know who everyone is. My name is Rebecca Pressler, and I am the PFI president. I am Mayor Kaya,
and I am the communications officer,
secretary.
I'm Maria Petrelli.
I'm Maria Petrelli, and I am VP of Elementary. I'm Sandra Cortez, and I'm the treasurer. Jessica Daniel, Vice President of
Something.
Amy Gray, co-historian / fundraiser.
And
Sarah Hinkle, middle school family engagement.
And Gina, who's on the line, is another vice president of elementary staff appreciation, who works with the stuff. So, we're glad you guys are here, and we have a lot to cover, but we're hoping we can rush through the first part so we can spend a lot of time on the last item, which we know is always of big interest to everyone today. All right, so first thing on the agenda is the approval of the September minutes, which for the officers I know came out late, but if anyone has any comments to that, let us know. Otherwise, will someone make a motion to approve the September minutes? All in favor? All right, those will go public. All right, the next will be the President report. I have a few items to discuss today. The first thing is that Sela did resign as the recording secretary. So Sela and Mayor were both co-secretaries, and we, the officers, had a discussion separately and agreed to accept her resignation and merge the secretary role. So Mayor's title is secretary. So everybody agreed to that. So that is now an official thing. The second item, we also had another change to Amy's title because the PFI dropped yearbook, we needed something for her. And I do have a section down later where Amy can talk in detail about what you're going to do, but the short version is that Amy is going to be over grants and trying to get money supplement for our various events and just for the school as a whole. So she's just going to do research and a lot of on her own time to try to save us money so that we can then give more money. So I think it'll be a great position. She'll talk more about that later. We had our first grant application for the teachers. We called them Think It grants. The IT is for innovative teaching. We have 3 periods a year, and they are $300 grants that we will award teachers for innovative teaching ideas. We had 3 submissions, 2 of which were approved by both PFI and administration. So Ms. Van Alten submitted and was approved a grant for a program called Generation Genius, which is an online science videos and testing and quizzes and things like that. That is for K-5, and that will be purchased and implemented soon. And then Ms. Kylan was also approved for a grant for Ozbot, little like robot, so that was approved as well. The last thing on my list is just information that on Saturday the Board of Directors is having a strategic planning retreat on campus. The CFI officers are permitted to attend and participate in this discussion. We're not always allowed to participate in the Board of Directors discussion, so anyone who can come, this is a really good opportunity. Any parents are welcome to attend. It is an open meeting, so you can come and listen, but are not typically allowed to participate in the discussion. But it is a big opportunity to just hear what's going on in the school. And I have a little bit of feedback that the audio is really bad.
Echo?
Is echo?
Well, that's what Emma's saying.
Okay, I should be muted. Yeah, I think, well, the connection looks terrible. All right, you know what? While Fran starts talking, I'm going to play with that and see if I can make it work. So you can, Fran, you can move on to your report, and I will see what I can do.
Sure. All of us have a copy behind the agenda of the budget and actuals that have been updated thus far until today. And last month we were still making some changes, so tonight, you know, unless anybody has any other things to adjust for, we would like to maybe try to vote to finalize the budget for the year.
All right, wait a second before you move to discussion. I just accidentally muted it. Okay.
Emma said that Fran sounds better.
Okay, I stopped it and started it, so we'll see if that helps.
I don't know. It might be that right.
Gina said it's not echoing with Fran.
So it's my computer, but I had it on mute, so I don't know
Why?
So I don't really have too many comments. We made really basically very small changes from so I'm comfortable with the budget. Rebecca, I don't know if you have any feedback on it or.
No, I mean, it definitely took a little bit for us to sort it out, but I'm glad. I feel like we did a good job with the numbers. Does anyone have any?
All right. Can you guys, hold on, let's troubleshoot this real quick. Can you guys hear something now, whoever you're texting? And which screen do you see? Do you see my face?
Now we can hear.
Do you guys see my face or the overall screen? I want you to see everyone, not just me. Here, I can, maybe see if I can unmute.
I can hear now. I don't know about
Hey, Gina, I unmuted you.
I don't see anyone.
Okay, sorry, I was on mute too.
No, yeah, I had you on mute. Can you see me or can you see the overall
I
view?
don't see anyone. I didn't do it on my phone though. I did it on my house phone.
Oh, so nobody's on video. Okay, then let me.
I didn't know you could be on video.
I sent you the information.
Yeah, I know, but you know. All right, wait, then I'll do it from my cell phone.
You just need sound. All right, I gotta figure this out. Okay, I'm gonna need you. This is the one we want unmuted.
dedication class.
No, it just needed it again.
But Zoom numbers, we're flat, I think. Membership.
All right.
Deal.
I'm hoping it works. If not, then we're going to have to turn it to my computer and not have you for all. All right. Thanks, guys. Do you guys have more questions about the budget?
Okay.
Jessica, you guys have any questions?
That's right. We're hashing out here, but we're good.
Oh, okay. Can we have a motion to approve the 2019-2020 budget? I motion to approve the budget. Second?
Second. That makes sense.
All in favor? All right. So the budget is approved.
Yes.
I'm taking you guys as an eye down there.
Yeah, hi.
Sorry.
All right, so the October budget report is essentially wrapped into this budget, right? That's the first column.
The first column are actual.
That's like this month.
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone
from
have
August
through
today? Yep.
Does anyone have any questions about the October up-to-date actual numbers that have been spent or earned? So column 2 is the budget. Column 1 is our actual.
Yes.
Any questions on that? If no questions, can we have a motion to approve the October budget report?
I motion to approve.
Second? All in favor? Now, let's update. I have 3 things here, Fran. So the update on the audit committee, taxes, and then the project account.
Okay. So I don't have an update on the audit committee right now. I think we were saying maybe
Kind of had our hands full.
yes.
That's
that
what
we would
because we haven't done anything with it.
Think about that driving in.
Yeah. Okay, so that is something that we will just have to maybe start trying to circle back to. We haven't found any. We haven't looked, let alone.
So nothing came up with the person that.
She gave me her phone number and her email, and I didn't call her.
I can if you
Okay,
want.
give me her
I know you
number.
have a million things to do.
I will email everybody in a second, but not as good about picking up the phone. Yeah, I'll send you her information, and then, or if you, whichever one of you want to follow up with her.
Yeah, I
The
just.
one whose husband says, or she said her husband might want to be on the committee. I have her phone number. Yeah.
So we need to renew our insurance, and that's one of the stipulations on it, that you and I are signing off that these audits are being done and things. So we have to renew by October 27th.
Okay. So we can sign the bank statement
Yeah.
anyway,
Yes.
and then we can work on the full audit as soon as we get to
Yes.
it.
That sounds good.
So what, do we need to have, like, Sarah and at least one other person just sign the
Yes.
bank statement as of today or whatever?
Yeah.
Does it have to be, does this count, or does it have to be like a printed actual bank statement? I think it has to be the bank
statements.
Okay.
Yeah, they want bank statements. So I have all that, and I can give it to Sarah and whoever else.
When did you say you have to?
October 27th.
Okay.
Sure, thank you. So I've filed, and it's all zero. We don't pay taxes because we're nonprofit, but I filed our taxes for the last fiscal year and also for the quarter, this first quarter.
All right.
And is that what you meant by taxes or the other taxes? Okay.
Well, both. I mean,
So
whatever
there's,
that is,
yeah,
they're
so
on
I did that. And then separately, I started that other tax project. So we're going back and looking at invoices that we paid last year and taxes that we paid on these invoices, and hoping that we can get reimbursed for these taxes. So I went through and made a copy of any invoices. Maria had suggested $5 and over that we paid taxes on. And there were around 20 of them and about $766. And that's for 1 year. I need to go back 2 years ago and do the same thing, which I will do probably this next week. So we'll see. Then I need to also, I don't know how to go about trying to get the taxes back, but maybe I can speak to Maria and she can kind of point me in the right direction.
Yep.
But that's what I have so far on that.
Okay.
And then everyone, if you're okay with
Yeah,
that,
sure.
we move on to the project account. So behind the budget, we all have another page that says our beginning bank balance at August 1st, and then a few things that we need to kind of add or back out of that number because they're really related to last fiscal year. To come up with an adjusted bank balance of $27,000. So we're looking at that, and then we're saying, okay, well, our expense budget for this year is about $19,000. So that leaves us with almost $8,000, of which we can determine how much of that we would like to move to a project account, because our income that we generate this year should cover our expenses. So technically we don't need this money to do our, kind of business for the year. We would like this to be separate for maybe some other things that we can do for the school.
Okay, so you're recommending 7,000?
So, I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I don't know if, it's not super conservative, so I would understand if, if maybe you wanted a little bit less, but...
well, that's what we're going to discuss now then. So what does everybody think about that number? And this will be the number that we then use to determine what we can purchase or what we're saving towards. So if we end up deciding at the end of the day that we're saving for something that's $20,000, we'd be like, okay, we're $7,000 there. Or if we decide we want to spend $5,000, then we'd be like, okay, we have $2,000 in this account. So this is the money, this is what we'll be working with when we discuss things later. But as Fran said, it's not very conservative, but we do have enough money for sure to cover this year's expenses, and anything we earn should cover next year's expenses, and that's kind of how it should work. So let's put it on the table. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's a number.
I think you're comfortable with it. I'm comfortable with it. I mean, I just do.
So that's why I said.
And I don't think there's ever a problem with it, investing more money, not being conservative.
Yeah.
Going back to school.
Does anyone suggest a alternate amount or have a problem with doing $7,000?
So the only problem would be, and we already approved the budget, would be if any of the numbers look, really are off, like we're not comfortable. We're comfortable with
I feel like we've taken long enough to really make sure it was right. So we have fine.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if everyone feels okay about it, can we have a motion to approve $7,000 for the PFI project account to be used for funding items at the school? All right, anyone second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So now what we are going to do is just go through our team reports. I have them on the agenda just as the overall team. There may be multiple comments underneath that I have not broken out, but we can take the time to expand on them as we need. So I have the first one on staff appreciation, which I believe, Jessica, you're going to give that one today, right?
I think so. There's a lot to kind of round up. So let's see. Staff appreciation is Amy. I think the big concern was budget for her. I think you were copied, looped in on that.
Yeah, I think we gave her another 100 because we had originally had 650, and she was concerned that wasn't enough.
Right.
I think we bumped it to 750, so it's not a ton more.
Yeah.
But it's about all we could do.
Right. Okay.
And I think her comment had said she has some things she'd want to spend, so it just means we're going to have to rely on donations. Or if Amy can work out some grants and things like that, then we can then do things for free. So,
but that's not until what, May? So we've got time. Hot chocolate bar, I think, was approved for December 13th, and I think it's going to be a mobile thing, going from classroom to classroom on a cart. December 13th. What else? The pie swap. Rachel's going to reach out to her volunteers in early November, so she's on top of that. The snacks for the teacher lounge. I've got
Recording has
4 or
started.
5 backup volunteers that can kind of help her out, so we're good with that. So that's really what I know right now.
All right. Yes, sounds great. Any questions for Jessica?
I'm not sure if I have answers, but you can ask them. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I do have a few things broken out for student and family, so we can go through them item by item, and then if you all have anything to add. So the first thing is the homeroom parent update. So why don't we break it up, and Maria, you can go first, and then Sarah, do you have anything to share?
We have filled all the positions for homeroom parent per teacher.
Oh, yeah.
Some people have 2, some people have 3. And as far as I know, I don't know if the second homeroom parent has this in the form, but the first one has. So at least each homeroom parent per class has the email list for the class.
Maria, can I ask you a question about homeroom parents?
Yeah.
So when I was inputting the data from the volunteer sheets on that spreadsheet, there are parents that volunteer to be homeroom parents for middle school. Are we doing that this year?
Sarah's going to talk about that in a minute.
Oh, okay.
Maria's just our elementary.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. I'm distracted.
It's going to be a little different, but well, and I think in our last meeting we had mentioned that we were going to have the meeting, and so what's transpired since then is that we did not have a homeroom parent info meeting.
Right.
We were able to just send the guidelines virtually, but they have to sign them and send them back. So that's what she's saying. We don't actually have everyone's yet. We're supposed to get it, and then they're also supposed to sign a confidentiality agreement, which we always ask for, but if we have that on hand, that's because we're giving them all these parents' personal info. So we're trying to be careful with the people that we give information to. And so, we never had that meeting, but it seems like it was going to be really hard to get everyone there, so this was our way around it. Anything else for elementary, Maria? You got middle school homeroom, or where?
Middle school homeroom is still in process. I've been speaking back and forth with Mr. Newberry. He suggested instead of emails and, separate groups, he really likes the Remind app. So I have set up Remind accounts for each grade level. And then once we have approval from Newberry, then we'll start pushing that information out to the parents to then subscribe, so we can kind of circumvent the confidentiality since they're subscribing to it. We were asked to help with the tape tomorrow. I did not receive any response, so I will be here helping with tape if anyone wants to help with the tape tomorrow. And then I will also be talking with Janet more about how to, Mr. Newberry also mentioned about sending out a form to the teachers of how we can really engage the parents, what they want to see the middle school culture to be, and how we can help them that way. So that's where we are.
Great. Any questions on either homeroom parent before we move on to the next item? So the next thing is our Spirit Night update, and I have that. We shared last month that 5th grade had earned $138. They chose to purchase Dynamath, which is a type of a scholastic magazine. So the 5th grade students will all be receiving that this year with $138. And I know last month, one of our questions was, what if they didn't spend all the money? It would cost $138. I don't know if they got a discount down to it, but they spent $138. Or at least that's what we paid them at. So 1st grade had theirs last month, and they earned $212, which is the highest we've ever earned for Chick-fil-A night. So having 100 students and then being 1st grade clearly pays off. They have not selected what they will spend it on yet. And then the next event is November 5th, which is 3rd grade. How much do you think? 212 for 1st grade. All right, so any questions on Spirit Night? So the next item is the kindergarten movie night, which is hosted by student council. And kindergarten is doing their curriculum night, and then it's transitioning into movie night, and they were going to do popcorn. I think I might have shared this last month, but I presented, okay, that's a really long time for families to be at school. We need to offer food, so let's sell concessions. So PFI is hosting the concessions. Any proceeds earned will turn back into student council. So we are not netting the income, but we're doing it as a service to the families. Maria Ivanova has agreed to coordinate the concessions that night. So she is, the Sign of Genius is already out. We do not have many people on it, even though it has gone to the volunteer database. So we need like, I think probably 6 people. We need some people, though, to help with it. And I suggested that they probably not be kindergarten families if they're going to be attending the event with their children. They should, if they are doing it, then they need at least another parent with their kids, because we can't have kids in that tiny back room back there. So that is next weekend, actually. It is next Friday night. So we have a week to get about 6 volunteers. So if anybody's talking somebody up who doesn't have plans next Friday,
that's a half day.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a half day, and then the kindergarten families come back at 5:30. I'm probably going to be here to help out because I figured I should. Fran, we'll need to discuss getting money for the cast costs and stuff like that. And we also need someone to buy food. So if anyone has a Costco membership, I posted it on Facebook. I haven't got any bites yet, but you know, we just basically, and because we're doing the school play, which is the next item, we can buy in bulk, save any of the items, and use it in November for the play as well. So we just need to get a bunch of sodas, waters, chips, and then we'll order pizza and sell that. So a lot of logistics that are not hashed out, but I'm sure it'll go well. But Gina has a Costco membership. I know Gina. So I was just trying not to make you have to do everything. But yes, Gina will buy if no one else does. And basically, as I said, the proceeds, we'll figure out what we spend, and then anything we earn in addition to that will go back to student council. And so that jumps into, again, the school play concessions. Jaya said she was willing to coordinate that. I have not spoken to her. I don't know if you've spoken to her, but we need to probably.
I sent her the list of volunteers that signed up on the spreadsheet, and then and I just asked her to help push out the Sign of Genius that Ms. Ballard has already put together, and then also she could tag on the other stuff that she needs for the play as well.
And you're there for the play as well. I know you're busy, and I'm planning on coming both nights. So
yeah,
there'll be enough people on here. But
yeah.
We'll have to see who signs up to help us both with those. But I did the school play concessions last year, and it was nonstop busy the entire night, and we made like several $100s on top of what we had spent. But this year, all the proceeds go to drama. So if we make $300, Ms. Ballard makes $300. So I think it'll be great, though. It's hopefully a good turnout. Any questions on any of those items? Okay. The next thing I have is the fundraising team. I do have one thing that is not on the agenda that I will talk about before we do spiritware. Gretchen sent me some updates for campus collections. She is making the physical box top submission on November 1st. It happens 2 times a year, so this will be our first one. Digitally, box tops has earned $71, and Shopperoo has earned $50, and Harris Teeter has earned $769 with 93 people signed up. So for as big as our school is, we could do so much if people would sign up for these things. $769 so far. And then she is picking up the Matthews Alive check on the 28th. We do not know how much we make yet, but she will let us know as soon as she finds out. That one was the one that it's not subjective. Everybody gets the same amount. We have no idea what that will be. It depended on how long Matthews Alive did. I will let Tara give the spiritware update. Well, if anyone has any questions on that. Any questions on any of that? All right. Spiritware.
Okay. Spiritware was graciously given to me. We fulfilled all the orders on last Thursday. So we were able to get them out early.
Sarah got here at 8 o'clock in the morning and did not leave till 4.
And I was chasing down.
And I helped her, but she was here for hours.
Chasing down the order and just even getting it here. So we did that. I am still talking with Brand RPM. There were some misprints on our shirts. and just a different quality shirt. They are very similar. They said that they would, you know, refund the difference if we want to, but I mean, truly, the material is very similar. I don't think I want to split that here because the other one that we have with them right now is the second order for our All Nation t-shirts is at a higher rate than what we originally quoted. So that's going to cut into the proceeds to give back to athletics. So I'm in conversations with Lynn right now about the quote and if there is a misunderstanding of how long that quote was good for, and we're going back and forth. They do want to keep us, so we have some bargaining room. I quickly looked at the numbers as I got here. From August 22nd until October, whenever the last order was put in, we have made $7,682.50 from the second round, from that second chunk. We are looking at opening up Spiritwear for the holiday sale again, coming up in October. October 31st. So our plan is to have all the teachers have flyers to send home with all the parents as they're coming in for their teacher conferences. So they will have that physical reminder as well as anything digital that goes out, and that will run through November 10th. And then we plan to have the order picked up from the vendor by December 6th. So then that will give us, it gives enough buffer room and leeway if there are any mistakes that need to be put back. And then since it's a holiday sale, we are offering a carpool pickup December 16th to 17th in the morning. And then anything that isn't picked up after the 17th will then just be distributed to the classrooms. So the last order should be delivered no later than December 18th. And then if there's anything that needs to be exchanged, it gives us a week before the holiday.
The only thing I will add is Sarah has said she will be happy to continue this, but she would like it if we can find someone who is willing to work with the vendor. She said she doesn't mind doing the actual online sale and the distribution, but the talking with the vendor part, if there's anyone who has some skill in that area or some interest, we would love to create a partnership of our Spiritwear team. So let's keep that in mind as well as we're talking to parents. If you notice somebody who's organized and maybe a good customer service and maybe a little bit of a good negotiator, that's what we need. So we can get them in touch with Sarah, and together they could be a great team. So in the meantime, Sarah is very kind enough to be taking point until we can figure out something else. But the truth is, we can all only do so much, right? So because she had to take over this, we haven't done the audit. You know, it's just we really do need some people to step up. But otherwise, we'll get it done. We know we will. It'd be nice if we had a few more hands. So keep your eyes out. Talk to people. See who's willing to step up. Brand RPM is who we've been using. Yeah. And that's who Athletic uses. Like the whole school does their stuff through them. So we're going to try to make it work if they don't keep messing up our orders. Yeah, if they mess up the next one, we may have to look somewhere else. It's just not.
It's not representative. The convenience is nice, but it's not. There's other vendors. A ton of t-shirts that we can get.
The only thing we lose by moving is we'd have to redo our scripts. You know, like the initial upfront cost of that. But if it's too much of a headache, then we try somebody else. So.
It's going to be better in the long run.
Right. I mean, this isn't going anywhere. So.
Rebecca?
Yeah.
Do you want me to see about just for the heck of it? Because the JCC works with a vendor who owns all the t-shirt stuff that we do. Just an idea of how much it would be.
If you want to
I'll
connect
reach out
there,
to
we can always get pricing and compare. I think we give them one more try for sure, but there's no reason there's no harm in getting quotes if you're willing to, if you want to start the conversation. Okay. You can get any info to Sarah, it doesn't hurt to get numbers.
Right.
If it's significantly different, it kind of makes our decision easier. If it's more expensive, then, you know. All right, any more questions on Spiritwear before we move on? All right, book fair.
Oh, okay. I met with yesterday a representative from Scholastic, and she just gives me, just some information on the book fair this year. The theme is Arctic Adventure, so it looks really cute. And one nice thing that's new this year is that Scholastic Book Fairs and the Carolina Panthers have teamed up on a literacy project. So they have videos that we can post online of Panther players reading Scholastic books and different things like that. And it seems like it's something that the kids are really excited about. It's called Third and Goal. So, it sounds really nice.
Some of the videos have been shared already in Dojo. Some of the teachers have sent links for it. I haven't watched it, but I saw that it was there.
Oh, okay. That's great. So the plan is to set up the book fair on November 15th, and then that's a Friday, and have it run the following week. So it's like the 18th to the 22nd. And it will be delivered like probably the 14th or the 13th. So that's really it. So it'll just start. We should be getting soon the flyers so the kids can take those home. And then, basically she said the best thing we can do is just advertising. So in whatever, form we can do that. And I think from now, probably we should start. Should start advertising. So, and Scholastic has great advertising, I guess, that we can use, as well as if we want to put anything, up ourselves. So, but that's pretty much the update on that.
All right. Any questions on book fair? Campus beautification, our volunteers came and did the fall decor. Jaya, who's also the school play person, she decided to coordinate the beautification, the indoor. So that was great that she was willing to do that. We had about 3 volunteers come and spend the morning taking down the back to school and putting up that. There's an outdoor work day Saturday. And
Tomorrow and Saturday.
Tomorrow prep,
prep, and then
Saturday's like a big day. So PFI was asked to pay for the lunch at the workday. It's also the day of the board of directors meeting, so they were going to have lunch anyway. So we are paying for like hot dogs and chips and drinks for that. We decided to take that out of our volunteer appreciation budget because that's basically what it is. It's like 40-something people signed up, so we can do that for them. And then we know it's going to be awesome. There's like 1 million trees and mulch out there and stuff already. Natalie's going to do a great job. The other thing that I've been talking to Ms. Decker about this since last year, and it finally is going to come together. Under the beautification team, we are going to help set up and decorate for all of her performances. I realized, I was talking to her about it last year, and it's finally come together, but she did all that herself. She would come, she would do the decorations, she would have to set everything up, and I proposed to her, there's always a line of people waiting to get in, let a few people help set everything up, and then give them like a little laminated like reserved seat, and then they get to pick their seat. Like I would totally have helped for every performance my kids have ever been in if I got a front row spot. So not everybody who signed up might be attending that performance, but it's something we can offer. If we don't get a lot of people on the Sign Up Genius, we can offer it to each grade level. Like, hey, if you help out, this week we'll give you a reserved seat. So the Sign Up Genius went out. I had a volunteer from the database that I contacted. She created a Sign Up Genius. I've never met her, but she's been really helpful. So I'm glad we're using those volunteers that way. And it went live. We had a few people sign up. It's for the whole year for the K-5 performances. I have asked administration if they want us to add Greek performances, any other types of assemblies or events, band performance. I haven't heard that, but there's no reason we couldn't have that kind of stuff on here as well. So if they ask, it'll be our performance, but it's decorating too. And so if it's the holiday around the world, then the whole stage gets to look nice for a few days. And so that is a new thing we're going to try out and save Ms. Decker some time. School pictures. Emma could not come. She is on the line, but she sent me her report. Oh, did anyone have questions before I move on? Sorry, I just kept going. All right. Picture day ran smoothly. They had a lot of volunteers. Special thanks to Janice for some last-minute volunteers. A few staff members did not come take their photos, and so they have to be photographed on makeup day. An email is going out to the teachers about that. Makeup day is November 13th in the middle school library. And last year, we sold 316 photo packages. As of now, we have sold 281, but some parents may still order after makeup day or once they've received the proof. So we may still be close to the same number or exceed it as last year. But any questions on that? I don't have any information for you. Talk to them.
Hey, Rebecca, yeah. This does not pertain to school pictures, but I was looking at the budget and I confirmed with Fran, we have a line item for $1,500 for spring pictures. I think we have to reinvent how we do that.
Yeah, Emma was saying we need to talk about it.
And I don't know if she's been in touch with Barbara, but Barbara's ready to drop us.
Yeah, we didn't do it.
Because, we're not, sales have been on the decline and it's a ton of work. I've been there for it. 3 straight days, it's a ton of work for little return. So I think we have to reinvent how we do that, how we advertise it. Last year we did fall pictures. We haven't done that this year. I don't know if we made any money doing it that way, but the family ones. Yeah, the thought was,
I think it was like
holiday card.
Yeah,
I thought it was a great idea.
Well, it was the day of the hurricane or something, so.
I know.
It kind of interfered. Maybe it would have been better, but yeah, you're right. It was one of those things. But
I just want to make sure that was on the radar.
I know it's on her list.
Okay.
She may be saying something to herself right now about it. But, I know she has mentioned that she is aware that we either need to.
Yeah, not yet.
So, yeah, we may be overachieving with that number then, but we'll make sure we come up with a plan for that. All right, so she said yes, it's on her list. So, thanks, Emma. All right, Amy, tell us what you have in mind for grants.
So I've been doing some research, and grants or any kind of contribution fundraising, reaching out to, obviously, our local vendors, Smoothie King, Dunkin' Donuts is a big one, Publix, Greco, Mario's, Target, Walmart, anywhere around here, just to see if they can donate anything. Now that I have a definite need for May 2020 for Teacher Appreciation, for the Hot Chocolate Bar, for the Pie Swap, for Snacks for Teacher Lounge, for Field Day, I can start working on narrowing that down. Just also some ideas of just fundraising in general for our little group here. Besides having Publix, I have all the information. I just have to go online and fill it out. Also, like a loose change drive, a tech sale, bring in all your old Kindles and all your old iPhones, and we'll sell it, and that will make money, a little bit of money for us. Food donations, things of that nature. So that's what I'm working on. So the more money I can bring in to cover the cost of this, something PFI is going to do and have it completely covered, then that's obviously less money that we have to get out, plus more money that maybe we can save for teacher appreciation, gift cards, and things of that nature. So that's my job this year besides the co-historian. And that's what I plan to do, and hopefully we'll be able to get some really good ideas of just more fundraising for the PFI. I know the school does a good fundraising, but I feel like the PFI could definitely use some more money, and just really simple stuff. Like I said, spare change day. I'll happily buy, you know, the classroom who has the most spare change in, I'll buy popsicles out of my own money.
What happens if it's dime? We had a case.
That's a whole question I have on the list to bring up to school another time.
There's a plexiglass case.
There's $7,000 worth of dimes in there that have not been promoted to the school in like 3 years.
Yeah.
I walk by that and I look at it, I'm thinking,
Yeah.
where is this?
That or
Where's it going? It's like
It's
we
on
just
my
look
list.
at
It's
it.
not PFI, so let's not talk about it too much right
No,
now.
I
But it is one of those things on my like long list of things to say, hey, what's the plan with
I
it?
just walked by it and I'm like,
Yeah, the number hasn't changed in years, and it hasn't been promoted in years. But I looked at it the other day at the board meeting, and I did the math. It's about $7,000 in there. We should just
how
have
did you do the math? Did you measure the
I mean,
the dime?
no, it says how many there are.
Oh, it does. Okay. I never read it.
Yeah, it just hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. Yeah, you can I'm a really visual person.
Yeah. Right.
But it's going to take parents a lot of time to do, because I feel like the more time it takes them to do it, they're not going to do it. So it's just really easy stuff. You know, like I really like to take the coaches to the wall thing. That was a really great idea. But just something that, you know, hey, Dad, empty out your pocket. Okay, whatever. You know, it's something. That, even all that would help. And at the end of the year, like I said, more money can get back to school.
Amy, what I realized last year, because I didn't know that these stores donated things to the schools, I just didn't know about it. But when I was calling, and I was calling for like the following week, it was like, oh, what a...
Yeah, you have to do it months in advance.
Yeah, so that's, you know that already, so I was just going to say that earlier.
Yeah, you have to
But
put these stores, or anybody, because they have budgets too, so there's only so much that they can give out per quarter. And only so much that they can allocate. So if you have to get in on their quarterly.
Early on the quarter, yeah.
So that is my plan. But in the meantime, so we're planning for May 2020 for planning for, you know, next month, any event going forward. But in the meantime, if we could brainstorm and come up with just little easy stuff for the parents just to do, or the kids to get on board to do, and with rewards, because kids work well with rewards. As you know, like I said, I'll happily provide popsicles.
I work with that. So I love the chain, the fair chain, and I work with a school that does, they call it penny wars, and I guess they bring pennies in and then they weigh them, and you know, like whatever class has them, that you know they get popsicles or whatever. I would donate popsicles too. I mean, that's easy.
And that's easy across all grades, right? I'll get, you know, I'll have water jugs. I'll be happy to donate to all of them. I can do that
who can
myself.
fill it first?
Who can fill it first?
Right.
You know, give them a date. So by January 1st, Happy New Year. Who's got the money? When you come back to school from winter break, you know, you get to have, I don't know, cookies or whatever. And that's just a little bit of money. So anyway, that's my plan.
Great. We'll make it. We'll turn it into some. I think it'll be a good position.
It'll be good. But you do it at home too. You know, my
So
computer.
if anyone reads something online from some company that they have a form, we have the tax ID info. Like send it to Amy, and she can try to see what we can get. Like if we can get Walmart gift cards, we'll use them. You know, if it's $25, it's $25. Like we can apply for everything. The worst they can do is say no. So
Yeah, and I know like, my kids are orthodontists. They give money left and right to organizations. You just have to ask for it. You just have to ask it in a timely manner.
well, that sounds great. Thanks, Amy. All right, so I have a few things on the old business that we can go through real quick. So the first thing, is Jana still in here? I know that she might have had some feedback on this.
Jana.
All right. The volunteer appreciation magnets that we give out, the 36-hour magnets, we had discussed that we were going to bring themes for it this year. 2 years ago it was gold medal volunteers. Last year it was blue ribbon volunteers. I don't know if we have any, if anyone has thought of any themes or ideas for that to go with it. I have Janice releasing a connection today. Some families who have already completed their hours. I asked her about note cards because usually she has a team that writes thank you notes to parents when they finish their hours and usually gives them a magnet. I inquired on if there's any actual Socrates branding note cards. She gave me this old styled one that exists. that they don't use a lot, but they have it. So my thought along with the magnets, or maybe we actually get a note card that the magnet would fit inside, so the volunteers can actually give a whole envelope with a note card that fits the magnet. So like how we do our birthday cards, maybe get a bigger 5x7 or something. So then those volunteers can actually send the card and the magnet home with the family. So anybody have ideas for a theme? Has anyone actually thought of anything over the last month? Or if you have any?
Does it have to be the same shape always? It has to be just the round?
Not necessarily. Yeah, do whatever we want.
They can do whatever shape. What if we did an owl shape one?
That'd be
Is that a crazy die cut?
Because that's what I
There might be a
thought,
place that already has one.
make an owl or something like that instead of just like the round, because like once you use all the colors of the school and the blue ribbon, like there's not much you can do that goes with the school. So if we can just change the colors or the shape or do something else.
There's some companies that already have certain die cuts already, so the price for that not as much as doing a custom, so we can see if we can find some owl or something cute like that. Did anyone have any other ideas? Or do we like the idea of going with a cuter owl this year?
Even if we did an oval, I think Mary's right that a different shape will kind of set it apart, differentiate from the other years. Even a square with rounded edges, or just something that at first glance is a little different.
Well, we're in the 2020 school year. It's all about vision and focus. Just saying.
The other thing is the theme, like, isn't it like there's like a theme for the year or something? Like
It's growth mindset.
so I wonder if there's something that's kind of going
Like a
that.
leap or something.
What is the theme?
That's a school theme.
What did you
about
say the
eyeglasses?
theme?
Yeah.
Growth mindset is the theme this year.
A lot of yearbook themes, all about the vision.
Yeah, what about eyeglasses with the volunteer with the eyeglasses? Vision met.
Oh, that's
What was
nice.
that one? Say that again.
The eyeglasses.
Vision met.
Vision met. No. Something like that. And those can be sold, I think, at the school store or.
No, we give them out as when someone earns 36 hours. Like we gotta have something on it that says like 36 hours.
Yeah, vision, or mission accomplished, vision accomplished, 36-hour, big start.
So I would say I'd like to have something ordered and in place by January because I want us to be able to send these things home sooner rather than later. So what if we take these ideas, I will reach out to anyone on the database that seems interested in maybe designing something. I could do it, but I'm all about having somebody else help. So if we can take some of these ideas and then see what we come up with and then actually decide on not just the concept, but decide on an idea. Same thing with our birthday cards. Anything that's a good idea, we can save for next year. We're not having to just like throw the work out, but we can decide on which one we adopt for this year. And then simultaneously, we can be working on a layout for a card, and we may, because it's a generic Socrates card, we'll probably have to get approval for that design, unless it looks exactly like this. So that gives us a chance to present that to the board in November. So card and magnet, I'll contact volunteers. You guys can even if you guys have an idea you sketch out, I can turn it into something digital, but just, I like it being a collaborative effort. If you have any ideas, send them mine or Mary's way.
Fran's about to test you on that theory.
I can work with some crazy stuff.
She just got your sketch right there.
You sketch me something, I'll turn it into math. Yeah. All right, so we will follow up on that in November. We are not scheduled to meet in December, so I really would like for us to have a decision in November so we can get something ordered and implemented by 2020. All right, so the other thing, I wanted to follow up on the parent concerns at the end of last meeting. We had a time when we just took questions from parents that were not necessarily PFI related, but were parent concerns. I've committed to taking any concerns like that to administration on behalf of the parents, even if it's one or two people. That is something that PFI can do, as it's shared in our bylaws, in our mission. We are supposed to be a communication and advocate for parents at the school. So that is one of the things we did. Two of the main concerns that I had received follow-up for were carpool concerns, which administration is very aware of the issue. There was a comment about whether or not the letter that went home was real, if you really were approached by SAPFIA, and she did confirm with me that we did. I do have the officer's name and information. She shared that, and that can be passed on to any parents that want to contact him directly. So this is your permission to basically ask me for that information if you want it. And then one of the big things was the ditches by the road, and they're aware of that, and they're working on trying to figure out how they can fill those in. She was not aware at the time, so now she is aware. So that's where these concerns come up. You bring them up. She didn't know about it. Now she does. And then the other question was right. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're
fine. Like the beginning piece about the officer.
The CMPD letter that everybody got about carpool, that you can't turn.
Okay.
Some parents last month were questioning legitimacy of that, and and we never saw officers after that.
I got you.
And you know, parents were told they get citations, and then we never saw an officer. So they were wondering if it was like more of a threat than a real thing. She shared with me the letter that she received from CMPD, the officer information, the officer in his letter said parents can contact him.
So it is legit.
It is legit.
But there's no signage, is there?
No, but there's no signage. She knows that, but she had to do what CMPD told her to do. So it's sort of a weird thing, but that's where if anyone wants to contact that officer, I can share.
I'm going to get a sign.
Yeah. Well, and she's brainstorming ways about. I don't know offhand. Yeah, she emailed it to me, but I'll make a note to get you.
I'm just curious if it was the one that
it might be. I don't know.
And he said he was going to come by again. I didn't know. I mean, probably.
It could be the same person. I will send.
It's hard because if there's no sign in there and you don't see any officers, parents are just like, there's nobody looking. I just come and turn.
Right.
Yeah.
Like at the beginning, I saw maybe 2 cars turning, and now every morning there's like more and more because it was like.
They're not going to do anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're talking about going left on Smithfield Church, like down towards Union County, right?
It's coming into the lower one. They said that no one can come from this direction and turn into the lower lot in the morning. They have to all use the upper lot.
I got you.
That's the one requirement that was in that letter.
Oh, right.
Because they get the traffic.
Yeah, that makes sense.
One of the things that I do have down to talk about as one of our ideas that goes along with carpool. They did test for a few days having an officer by directing people out, and then she also shared with it at last week's Board of Directors meeting. It's around $1,000 a month to do that. It's one of the items we can discuss as far as potentially using a project account or fundraising specifically for the officer. But it's around $1,000 a month. They would like to have it. It's just, is there an ability to make that investment?
It'll be both morning and afternoon?
$1,000 just for the morning for one officer. So every officer for each time frame is basically $1,000 a month.
It's at the lower school, at the both.
No, that she had on here directing people left safely.
Okay.
Leaving the middle school lot and left instead of I'm going to die every day.
Is morning's not a big deal than afternoon because I carpool, so I don't do mornings, but afternoon I don't have a problem. So it's
dangerous.
Mornings are, I'm assuming, much worse.
Yeah, because there's more traffic from other people that are from.
Afternoon,
Pickup is getting a lot.
Like racing world.
So I want to move on because I want to be aware of our time. I just wanted to give you all an update. The other thing that several parents brought, the other thing that other parents brought up was the after-school programs that they wanted to see more. I shared that with her, and she was going to pass that along to the other administrators and the directors that is something parents would like to see. So I don't know if it will change, but the request has been submitted on behalf of the parents. So The other thing that I don't have on the agenda but I had in my notes, one of the other concerns that we presented was cohesive event planning and better communication. We have continued to express that we as a school need to do a better job. PFI is often not looped in to the planning discussion or communicated with when things are happening, and we continue to ask to be. Ms. Brighton said she was going to meet with the other assistants and the other staff and continue to request that we do a better job.
What's an example of, do you have an example?
The kindergarten movie night was a great example. It's under student council, so it was planned. However, it was supposed to be a collaborative effort. Me and my very organized brain pointed out various logistical issues in the plan that was presented to me, and I was essentially told, we'll let you know when we come up with a plan. Like, you have me, use me, but I was sort of pushed out. So the plan was then presented again. I pointed out a few more things that were then changed, and now the plan's in place and it's decent, but instead of bringing everyone to the table, it was, you wait over there, we'll tell you what to do. By the way, we want your money. It's not a really good feeling. I know I'm not the only one on the board who has felt that, and we want to do a better job because we want to help, and we have volunteers. And so that's the big thing I just keep reiterating, like, you have us. Don't push us away, use them.
Use them.
So, hopefully some positive changes will occur. And it's all just because we want to help and we have the parents, we're the voice of the parents, but use us. So, all right, so new business. We have 2 items. The first one is Sewell Sperlin is going to share with us about Outreach Week.
Thank you. So I'm really excited about Outreach Week this year. It's going to be November 4th through the 8th, so it's coming up. November, it was a great time when people are maybe already just intuitively thinking about gratitude. It might be a really good time to get the students thinking about service and community outreach. So for that week, there are actually 5 organizations that we're partnering with to do charitable donations. So students can get involved and learn about each of those organizations and then hopefully find a way to donate to them. You may recognize some of them. Monday, it will be Noah Strong. They collect gift cards to help family members who have children going through cancer, great things like that. Tuesday is Matthews Health Center. Wednesday is, we have a partnership with Veritas School. We helped them out last year and will again with food items. And last year the extra item was backpacks. I don't know if you remember that. So perhaps you're going to find out what their specific needs are, and each of the community outreach team members are supposed to come back and present those specific needs so that we can be clear with parents and families and our scholars how it does help. And then Thursday will be the Greater Charlotte SAPFIA. There is a lot of love for the SAPFIA last year for the scholars and animal lovers. And then finally on Friday will be the Levine Children's Specialty Center. There will be food items, specific needs items, gift cards, diapers, ways that we can help families with special healthcare needs, specifically cystic fibrosis. And they're hoping to grow that program. So I'm really excited about the partnership. And just to give you kind of an idea of how PFI can be involved, first and foremost, of course, just the energy and the excitement. And Socrates is so wonderful in promoting service to others and getting the scholars involved. So that's great, and we can do that too. PFI has agreed to help with the publication, the creation of the outstanding flyers, design help, fearless leader, and then also to distribute them. Last year we did the copying and then giving it to each class. There's We're hoping for a Facebook post on the PFI page as well as the school's page. We're going to get the info to James for the connection. So it should be very well publicized. Also, what we're doing a little bit differently this year is putting a finance union in place, working with our partners in advance to say, what are the best days for delivery, so that we can give to our parent volunteers, here are the days and the times. If you want to go to the Charlotte SAPFIA with your scholars, this is when you can pick up the goods.
That was awesome. He did that.
It was a Humane Society, though.
Yeah, well,
Is it? That's like a nuance, but
they looked up the name.
yeah.
But they think that I'll double check on that.
Because that was awesome. It was a great
All
experience.
think it was named Blake.
Yeah, it's not, but it was a wonderful experience.
And I think, you know, to the extent that the scholars are happy to be photographed and we can publish that, that's a good thing. So that's about it in a nutshell. I think I have a very yay.
Well, and I just want to say that I think this is actually a great example of collaboration, and it's the second year of it, which is probably why it's going to work out really well this year. So, because this is not a PFI thing, we're just one segment of a big school initiative, and this is exactly what we want to see happen across the entire school. Is what we're doing in our second year with this outreach week. So, good job.
Very cool.
Any questions for school? Well, we have a. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the main event of the evening. The officers met to kind of chat about a rubric for deciding the best way to spend our money. I have a stack. I'm going to make some notes. Basically, as we each present various ideas, because I'm sure you all have a bunch, we have 5 things that we're going to take notes on. One is estimated cost. The second is who the idea will benefit. Could it be each of the grade levels, teachers, general campus, and parents? The longevity of the investment, is it something that can be reused, or is it a one-time thing? Maintenance required, if it's something that requires a lot of upkeep. And then the urgency, how quickly do we need this? Or is it something that's a longer-term enhancement, but not something we need immediately? So I will take notes on these as we discuss. And then we will have to, depending on time, either today, if not enough time, we'll have to get together another time and actually kind of evaluate the top few. I don't know what that number will look like. Will then be presented in the survey to all parents to then vote on the ones that we choose. Just some backstory or history before we jump into ideas. The sunshades were, I think, around a $30,000 investment. The water fountains were about an $8,000 investment. Sometimes projects take a few years to raise money for, and that is okay. So if we decide everybody wants this thing that's really $50,000 and it's going to take us 5 years to get there, then that's what we do. And we start saving. If we decide we want to fund $5,000 worth of stuff we can start using next week, then that's what we do. So we are not tied down, but I wanted to make sure that was clear. It can be as small or big as we all deem appropriate. Anyone have any questions about what we're kind of collecting before we start shooting out some ideas? All right. So I'm going to let Ms. Ballard go first because I know she has something, and that way if she doesn't want to stick around for another hour to go home. Thank you for your patience in coming to share with us. Before you even go, Ms. Ballard did submit a THINK grant. It was denied because it didn't quite fit the criteria, but I encourage her to come share that today. So you have the floor.
So we're doing a play. That was my kind of entry level into interest in this. But last year was kind of the first big production where students needed to really be heard in this space, and we had somebody come in who basically did it for free. I think I gave him $300, and he had batten lights here, which shone on the kids, and we had wireless headset mics and amazing sound system going on, so we sort of got a preview of what this space could be. This space is wonderful, but it is not a theater space, like if you look up here, the lighting doesn't start until the middle of the stage. So kids are here, they are not seen, they're in middle school or elementary school, so they're not heard. And so I think at Grant, I'm currently working on a show, and I really want the kids to be heard, and so I've been getting quotes from people about headset mics, but also like larger quotes about like how to really make this space a performance space. And in the grant, we talk about benefits. School, we do so much performance in this room, graduation, like all the Miss Decker stuff. So I think it would benefit the whole school. And I think this is like an immediate ask, but also if people were interested in a longer term thing to improve this space as a performance space, that's a possibility as well. I got a quote from the contractor that we use that installed things for, if you wanted to do like a total makeover with lights coming from here and headset mics and just really good sound, it would be $11,000 to really make this space like what, I don't know if anyone saw the play last year, but to do like what we have. The Robinson.
Oh, okay.
And I think the Greek play has the...
They said too. Somebody was here. I don't know who knows.
Yeah, so that was Len, this guy, Len Ralston, and he's been working with us, and I think is like super invested in trying to make it happen, but also like it costs money. And so if it was a longer term project and we wanted to make the space amazing, the quote that I got from him would be $11,000 or around that number. If we got just the mics, it would be around $3,000. And those would be what? How many mics? It would be 6 headset mics with the it requires a system and some things to be set up and racks for that. Those would be amazing. We could do moving performances. We get I'm also the Arts and Science Council rep, so when ASB groups come in, we would be able to host events better. So of course, again, it's like an ask just for the drama kids, but also I think community benefit the community. I would definitely be a person who would be taking care of it and guarding it. This space is definitely a communal space, and but I do try to take care of the space, and I would definitely be invested in taking care of the space. So I do have quotes and numbers if you all wanted to look at the individual things. I can send that to PFI, in an email or something.
So is it the $3,000 for the 6 wireless mics and all the equipment needed, or the $11,000 to completely outfit?
Yes.
So there's no between.
There could be I have different things here, and I talked to this guy who's he's invested in a certain quality, which I would say, especially with wireless mics, I think you would want something either middle of the road or better, because I've been doing all this research, and the $300 mic set that for 8 people that you get on Amazon is gonna break. So it just depends on quality of things. There's someone, and I was also initially I was talking about the speakers, but I actually, because people have been saying, oh, they're buzzing and they're broken. I came in here today and the quality was turned way up, and I think actually these are adequate, but I mean we could have better. So I think if there's an immediate thing, it would be the headset mics if we didn't want to do anything right away. But Len was talking about actually putting speakers into the wall and doing wiring. I guess we would have to think about how the school is growing too. There's also an option, I was talking to another contractor where we could have something that's maybe more mobile, so it could be better transported to the what is that called? The gym. But there's also this option of making this more of a performance space, which would be speakers in the walls.
If we started off with $3,000 just for the mics and the speakers.
That's just for the design. Yeah.
Is there an option to
say next year we have more wiggle room in the budget to add on.
Yeah, and that's what so I asked him, what would you suggest getting first? And he said, well, the mics, because
right.
I think when we divided it up, like all this like amazing speaker stuff was around 4,000, 3,700. So,
but would that be adequate to start with, or you think, well, it was great, but it's still not great? I mean, is it really going to enhance?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think these would be huge enhancements,
even with the current speakers.
Yes, like I think it would better support. Like I think that actually the issue with this, so this speaker buzzes, and it has to do with it not being able to take the volume of the wireless mics that we have. These are fine. They could be way better, but they are not broken. I don't think. When I adjusted it, it seems like it responds with that buzzing to too much sound with the mic. And I'm not and this is why I've been talking to these contractors. So on some level, I trust what they're telling me. I've been doing a lot of research on my own, but I'm not. I wouldn't. I swear that is not broken. But it seems like when you adjust the volume and you turn everything on, they're okay. But if we are growing this system, we may want to have something that's stronger in place to support this microphone.
Do we have any idea if the proposed high school involves a theater
I was going to ask, what is the idea for the future for these devices? So we don't,
or is it
exactly?
Yeah.
So
maybe
I have. That's why I don't know. And that's why I would start with the mics, because that's something that could be transferred. Whereas if you invest in putting speakers in the wall in here, I don't know.
Right. In 10 years, I mean,
I don't know what the plan is.
it can be like what they are not
everybody in
for the space, what they can do with it before choosing what to spend the money on. I think.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because like, you don't want to do a huge investment if then the space is going to be turned into something else.
But like the wireless mics can move, so that. Do you know what the shelf life on these mics are? Like, are they?
From what they've been telling me, is they'll last. Like both of them are recommending the same. It's sort of like a little better than middle of the road brand. I also like wireless mics are. As a theater person, the little tiny ones can be finicky. So I've been talking about they're the ones they used last year. They're pretty durable and they're
pretty younger kids.
Yeah. And so if we did this, I would be like, someone needs to be like a hawk about this, especially if we're sharing them with the Greek staff and little kid. If we're going to do that, it would need to be taken care of. But if it's taken care of properly, I think they have like a longer. It would last.
That makes sense. Yeah. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Can we start off with lighting too? Because are there any middle of the road mobile lighting options?
It's just a weird space. Like I actually, for the show that we're doing, just janky, I bought a bunch of clip lights, and we're gonna because he brought in these big strips, but we just don't. The quote he gave me to rent was like $6,000 for 2 nights. Yeah, which is fair. It was a ton of stuff.
$6,000 for 2 nights, though.
Well, he did it for $300 last year. So.
That seems reasonable for 2 nights. I don't know.
No, but it is expensive stuff. So that's why I started looking at buying it, because no one's going to work for free forever. So, but we do need some kind of, and it's just, I'm even looking up here, I don't know where you would install lights to actually, up there, to put it on the stage. So it's not a theater space, but we use it like a theater space all the time, and as a performance space. So I think my ask would be for the mics.
Just to make sure our notes are good on here, 3,000 could be used by the community, specifically middle school drama, but also any other events. They are reusable with the opportunity to always buy more. You would be, as far as maintenance, you would be in charge of them. And then the urgency, I have down that they could be bought by the play. So you would by November 15th would be, or I guess probably right.
Yeah, I mean, I've been talking to these people, and they're waiting to hear back from me, so.
So our current sound system, do we have enough channels to support that, or do we have, is the board a part of the purchase of the?
Yes, as a part of the quote, there's the, yeah, and
Is that for 6? Like if we were going to buy more?
Yes,
do you need it?
yes.
Like
You wouldn't,
we would need
I'd have to ask. I don't know if you need a new,
with additional things.
but I do know that we need more channels, and that was a part of the quote.
So would that essentially fix that sound system back there, and they would just replace that board with what we would need for these microphones, or is it kind of being patched together?
I think it would be. I need to. I'm not sure. I can't just get. I've got so many quotes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I can't tell from this, so I have to. I feel comfortable with Len has been in here and knows our system, and it seems like he knows what we would need to make it happen. And the other person quoted me a very similar amount for, so it seems like ballpark. And I mean, I've also been like, how much does it cost if I were to buy it myself? But I think this is something like what the issue you're bringing up is somebody needs to come in because I don't know about channels. I'm learning, but yeah. So I believe that this is for like what we would need to make it work with what we have, because he's familiar with what we have. So.
Any other questions from Ms. Ballard while she's here?
I don't know logistics of sound equipment and microphones and speakers and what have you. I just know that when I'm sitting in here, you know, whether Mr. Crew is talking or it's like a moving up ceremony or whatever, the sound is horrible. It is deplorable.
So I don't. Yeah, I mean, I talked to this guy, and he's like, "Your sound system is horrible."
Yeah.
And he's a sound person.
Yeah.
So he's giving me like, but the other guy kind of quoted me a similar thing to what we have.
I'm wondering if it's the speakers or the microphone, because
It's
you know,
also
they sit at the podium. It's the room. There's a lot of background. There's not a lot of sound.
Yeah, there's no
buffering.
Yeah. So I think, a lot of it is the room.
Is there any, I'm not saying we have to.
Yeah, this is not.
Is there any like?
How much is it?
Let's buy it later.
Yeah.
Right. You can find somebody that can make them, but they don't have to make them. They don't have to be pretty. They just have to work.
Oh, we got all those blue skin.
I know.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I told you.
To bring somebody that's
Yeah, and look at the face and be like,
it is high.
Yeah, well, cheers at her.
All right. Well, if no one has any other questions, we can move on. But thank you for coming and sharing all this with us. And as soon as we can, we'll make a decision. And
okay, yeah, let me know. Because otherwise, it's going to like.
One thing I found for chocolate bar, but I didn't think I mentioned to somebody before that the school can earn like $10,000 by renting the room to the Chinese school on Sunday.
Oh.
Like Oregon State School, we currently host the Chinese school is Sunday. We use the classroom, we use the classroom for the
Providence State does that?
Oh, wow.
So it's $10,000 per year. So if I talk to the right person, if you get interested, talk to me. I can try to make this work because we live close to this school. If the Chinese move here, we can easier to most kids, the Asian kids is around a couple child, right? So the school is always thinking moving because Oregon State is private school. They year by year the school is growing, so that's their offer $10,000 a year.
Just for Sundays?
Yeah, just for Sunday morning. You know, the Antioch also has another Chinese school, which is church. We hope them because the church is not built yet on the Chestnut Road. They are building. That's a Chinese church. Now they have this Sunday school hosted by Antioch. So it's so close. A lot of if the Socrates gives the Chinese school this opportunity, we can talk, and I think it's better for our school. Yeah, earn some extra money.
Well, before you leave, give me your email address, and I can connect you to the
Yeah,
site.
sure.
And
I talked to somebody before.
Yeah, you can give her that info, and I mean, we can't make that decision, but we can definitely say, hey, this is money we could earn in a creative way, and maybe they'd be willing. I know they partner with athletics with some of the other organizations. This is just basically another opportunity.
Yeah.
So
just to open the doors for them.
Yeah, we have a space, right?
Yeah.
We don't have lights. We don't have songs.
Yeah, so before you leave, just make sure you write down your email, and I'll connect you to her. Maybe you can get to her.
Gina know me. I set up her program for chocolate bar.
Okay. Cool. All right. So, do any of you who have come today have ideas you want to share? No. Okay. I wanted to make sure I give you a chance to.
Kindergarten parents, first time here. So.
Well, we are so glad that you were here, and I wish there were more people too. But you know what? We're glad we had you. All right. So, who would like to offer another idea? If not, I've got some other ideas for the whole sheet.
I don't have it printing.
Okay.
We can do a couple things that I've heard other parents talk about doing. I think that it'd be really helpful is put some yelling or cover around the places where the kids wait for carpool, the kids and teachers. So we don't have the kids outside getting wet or the teachers getting wet. I also heard parents talking about some type of either fencing or something that can guard the school from the outside. There's been a couple times at the beginning of the year that they have problems apparently in Union Day. They have found somebody put the gun in the back of the school in the field. So some parents were talking about if anybody can approach the school and leave it up because it's all open. So maybe some kind of fencing or something to separate the outside from the buildings. But I don't have any actual numbers.
We'll have to look at some of them. But we can at least have them as ideas.
Yeah, those ones that I've heard a few parents saying.
Yeah, the covered thing I have. I've heard people say that one for sure. All right. What else you guys got? Negative ideas.
I would love in-ground irrigation, but, that might help our landscaping a little bit.
Do you want me to really write it down?
No.
Okay. I just it sounded like you did.
It's just me thinking out loud.
For me, it's safety, anything that has to do with safety, like a resource officer.
That would be a good idea.
I don't know about the fence. I would really love to have a resource officer. I know it seems unrealistic with this amount of money, but that would be something. Just because it is such an open campus, that I would feel better if somebody was here. And I think most or all of the schools in our area have them.
They do.
They do.
Public schools.
Public schools do have.
Even the private schools, they have people out directing the traffic every single morning.
I think
that's a different thing.
CMPD is at public schools. Private schools they usually contract out with some security company, and it's Paul Blart, mall cop. But public school, I know, but public school is CMPD.
Providence Day, Christian, they have CMPD out.
You can't speak out quietly.
Which I'm sure they pay them probably $1,000 a month. Being a private school, they can afford it.
But what if the PFI offers to help not take on the entire cost of having an officer, but contributing to some of the costs? I don't know how many people are interested in having one. I'm very interested.
That's something we can have on the list.
We're building a high school.
Well, speaking about the officer part, we did get an actual number for that $1,000. So is that something we want to add, or is that something we want to let the school manage and not get involved in?
If the school is already thinking about it,
Yeah.
I think we should wait and see what happens. If they don't do anything about it, then we can think.
A small item that I have that goes along with like the note cards would be just enhancing a little bit of the branding for the school anyway, just like kind of we invested in the pens, but I know they had the one graduation and then at the one town hall meeting they had last year, there's like a tablecloth, but it's really old and it's not like the current look that the school actually has. So things like that, which are probably under, $500, like under $1,000 to do some branding enhancements, which helps us just have a more modern look. So I'm going to write it down as tablecloth. I don't have a quote, but I'm gonna say like $500 to $600 for that.
For a tablecloth?
For multiple, I think.
Oh, okay. Like one table. Damn, what's the hell?
No, if you have
Holy moly, $6,000 for life.
That soccer field that is just dirt. Is that going to stay there when they change the school plans or not?
I think they may have talked about that at last week's meeting. I'm not
The
sure.
soccer field, they're gonna, my understanding of the blueprints of what we saw, they were gonna like take it apart and rebuild it, right? That was gonna be like split between the high school and elementary, was gonna be a field.
Yeah.
So that soccer field is just dirt, that's not going to be there?
No.
Okay, good, because now we need grass.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop, can't wait.
Yeah. But that's part of the reason it has been irrigated, or, because where kids live for.
Yeah, and for the necessary so the dirt tornadoes that they've been having. And
The what?
I've been hearing a lot of stories of kids saying that they play because when there's like dirt tornadoes. So the little kids have been playing on them and getting dirt in their eyes. So that's why it was.
Is it on there you mean for them to learn physics?
Yeah,
that's true. When is there a proposed groundbreaking?
Yeah.
No.
Don't they have to put a building on the land soon, or they lose their charter?
No. They're on the land.
All right, what else we got? I know Janice has some. Do you want to start?
Yeah, how about I'm going to steal Makerspace? What do you want? Stack. What do you want?
What do you want? Stack of sheets.
I will take mine. So I just had a couple random things that came to mind. Maybe you guys can share. I just have a few vacuum cleaners. We have vacuum cleaners that work. No. So one of the things that has been kind of our middle school project this year is the Learning Commons and Makerspace. So over the summer we invested, not me, but volunteers, invested a lot of time renovating the upstairs library into a Learning Commons Makerspace. So what that is flexible seating for the kids. It's a collaborative space. On Saturday, we're painting a green screen on the wall. We took out some of the shelves and had them moved to the back of the counter so the kids can make movies with green screen. They can get assets at the beach. They can do commercials for books they've read. The possibilities are endless with that. We have sewing machines. We have glue guns. We have all kinds of craft and electrical items. Thanks to the wish list, we've had parents that have purchased button batteries and LED light kits. So once we get the space completely outfitted, we'll start training the kids and the staff on how to use it. Ideally, we would like it to be an engineering, STEM/STEAM space for the kids so that they can work on engineering with all the electrical circuits. If you just Google what is the makerspace, it will give you a pretty good explanation.
But it's one of the newer things that they're putting in schools. There's a 24-hour makerspace downtown now where you can buy family membership and go in and do 3D printing or laser cutting. So I just listed on this sheet a few things that I think would help get us off the ground. So there's a light kit and a boom mic, which would go with the green screen. So the boom mic is actually a microphone that you connect to an iPad or a video camera, and it hangs out over the person that's speaking, so you can pick up all of the sound. The light kit is just a large ring light, so that they're well lit when they're making movies. It's an easy USB plug-in, turn it on. It doesn't have a light board or anything that goes with it. It's very simple. And then also 24 pairs of safety glasses, just for general use in there. They'll be cutting and using the laser cutter, which has glass around it, but it's just good for the kids to have the protective eyewear while they're in this space.
Is that enough? Is 24 enough?
It should be, and that's something that we can. I'm just trying to get us off the ground.
Got it.
This is not my whole list. Okay. This is my necessary.
I want to see the book.
So also on here is a laser cutter. What a laser cutter does is it does etching. This one is not, it won't do glass or metal, but it can do leather, it can do an iPhone case, it can do cardboard, it can do paper. So, for example, like we always think about a makerspace as being science-based, but if ELA did a poetry unit, they can go into the makerspace and find their books. Now, she wouldn't say, we're going to bind our books and we're going to use glue and cardboard. She would say, bind your books. And then when the kids say, how do we do that? She says, figure it out, you don't get the internet. You know what I mean? So they have to solve the problem of how do I keep these pages together. What they could do with a laser cutter is they can grade a piece of leather. We have leather up there, we have fabric. They can grade cardboard, and they can use it to make their book covers. So it's just kind of adds detail to things that they're already built in. One of the other items is a 3D printer. And filaments to go with it. 3D printers have come down in cost over the years. A 3D printer is not something where every child will get to go in and print just something. So the idea actually behind a 3D printer is that the kids have to engineer the design. So they would have to make it, they would have to collaborate, they would have to turn out a blueprint, they would probably work in teams. And then they could print their item. Or they could come together as a class and design something, and then print that item and watch it print. 3D printers can print in plastic, they can print in human cells, they can print metal. I mean, the possibilities are endless. And so for the kids, at least so that they can see it happen, I think kind of gets their minds started as to what they could do with that. So, and that's it. So the total for the makerspace outfitting is $694.80.
If your list was complete, do you have any idea, like what else are you looking for?
I mean, ideally we need a lot of extension cords in that space. I would like to put some kind of tile or metal down on the floor so that the kids don't have to worry about carpet. I would like to have soldering iron. I'd like to have another laser cutter. Have sewing machines up there. And I would like to have a whole lot of duct tape. I mean, actually $400 in duct tape. You know, because the kids would use it. If you've ever been to the Socrates place, you see their maker studio area or their maker space that they have on the 3rd floor now. It's pretty amazing. If you haven't been, it's definitely worth taking the kids to see. But I mean, ideally, just to get us started, we don't even know what we need until we start watching the kids. I'd love to have Arduino Raspberry Pis in there, a couple iPads, but $700 would get us off.
Do we have already a program, like educational program that will use everything?
That was not a question.
It's already designed?
So the laser cutter is actually a printer, and it's Bluetooth ready and capable, so you can print from your phone. So you can pull up a black and white image on your phone and connect it to the printer and send it, and then do a butterfly picture on the cover of your book.
But what I'm referring to, like, do we have it teacher.
Right.
Already,
How are the teachers
it's
going to be
gonna
trained?
use everything that is already like in the curriculum.
Right.
Like the kids are gonna use that. They're gonna. Do we have an idea of how they're gonna use it and if it's ready?
The point of the makerspace is not to have curriculum in there. It's problem solving. It's them using tools that they're given to actually solve problems. So we wouldn't align it with a curriculum item. I mean, they might use it for a poetry unit, for example, for ELA, or they may use it for science, for an electrical engineering unit. But we wouldn't go in and tell them that they have to use these things. So they are compatible. The 3D printer will work with Autodesk, which is the free software. It'll work with any vector-based program, Adobe Illustrator as well. And there's free programs online that they can use for the 3D printer. And then for the laser cutter, you can print from Microsoft Word from that. There are 4 desktops up there already. We do a backup to laptop, and we have a couple of iPads on here.
So if we had this ready next month, the kids could already incorporate it to their
Absolutely.
into their education.
Right. They could. So we would need to get the teachers trained on it. That's the primary goal. And then also, I have a student that is volunteered to come in and teach the middle school kids about electrical engineering or Raspberry Pi 3D printing. And so he will teach groups of kids, and then they can teach each other. And then he'll teach the teachers as well, so they can learn how to use the circuit set and all of those things.
Big conversation.
It is.
But you do this thing in all grades, right? Like you do this for all grades, not just middle school?
This is just for middle school.
I wasn't sure.
Now, I could see where we would want, 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade to come up and maybe watch something get printed on the 3D printer, see how the laser cutter works, maybe do a craft or something in the area. But it's not, we wouldn't turn a class of kindergartners loose in there and say, build me something that could grow food on the moon. You know what I mean? I mean, there are definitely makerspace projects that the little guys can do and get behind. But I think this is something with the tools we have in there, that's geared toward the older kids.
Yeah, kindergarten and laser cutting.
Yeah.
I just want to make a quick comment, because you had said something about, for like ELA, poetry unit, they're making a book and they're not told what to do. They're told go bind your book.
Right.
And they're not told how. It's the problem solving. So, and I don't know if everybody knows what I do for a living, but I work with teachers and I work with students. And it's in a creative capacity, they're creating their yearbook. And the number one problem right now is the lack of creativity in students. And I think that a lot of it has to do with the internet and their exposure to like instantaneous information. We'll tell students, we need a theme for the yearbook. And if they don't have clear and concise direction, they're lost. They cannot come up with any, there's ideas, but it takes a while. It's like a muscle that they haven't used. And so I really feel like this would fill a void, and it would help strengthen the muscle. My only concern is, because it's not really built into curriculum, my concern is they wouldn't use it the way it should be used.
That's what I was
during open house, I asked, and I know that it was so early, but I asked Ms. Neal, I was like, I'm super excited for the makerspace. She's like, it puts
Well, I don't want to show it to them and explain it to them.
I know it was early. It was early, yeah. So that's my concern. They wouldn't use it, and how do you manage the flow of okay, so Colvin's going to use it, and then Letty, and then Linker, and then how do you manage?
We have a calendar on. We have a shared Google document with a calendar to sign up for your makerspace area.
Yeah.
Right now, Girl Scouts are using the area sister meetings, and Linker's class has been in there all week.
Okay.
And Linker's class is STEM.
So it's already being used a little bit.
Yeah, it is being used a little bit. I've been kind of holding everybody back until we get it out.
So this is used outside the school period.
I'm sorry?
Is it being used outside the school period or during class?
Oh, yeah, when?
During class period. Yeah, and actually when the board approved the space, the board of directors said that, actually I was there with the curriculum committee that we met with, they said that once it was ready to go, that they would want teachers to use it twice a semester, each teacher, for a project.
Oh, that's great.
And I don't think we're going to have to beg them to use the space once we get it outfitted. I think the bigger problem is going to be, I want to use it on Thursday, but I can't because this class is in there, negotiations of who keeps it.
Yeah. Janice, what do you think would be the goal?
What do you mean?
Like,
I have a couple other things that I just wanted to...
Can we follow? I have a couple questions on that one for this. Maintenance and longevity. Sounds like this is something that can be used long term, and then any sort of materials restocked if they needed. But like the actual this stuff, would it be something that you think would last a while?
Yes, absolutely. The only thing we really go through is furniture codes, which is why everybody can't print that thing. You know, they have to design it, they have to blueprint it, they have to discuss it. Honestly, I think the thing that's going to get damaged the quickest is probably the safety glasses. You know what I mean? Because the lights and things, when the kids are working with electronics, it's like they said, oh, with you guys, you're like, okay, well, if it's okay, don't run with the iPad. You know what I mean? So we are very careful. And
this is one of those things where we can have Amy contact some company that's willing to donate 500 pairs of safety glasses.
That was wonderful.
I mean, you know, there's companies that are like, here you go.
Oh, yeah.
So
you have 500 back.
Okay, you can go. I just wanted to make sure I checked those ones.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I just had a couple other ideas. Some are from other staff members. So I don't know what the cost of this would be, and this is actually Stephanie's idea, but I know that carpool is a sore point with parents. And so she has suggested, Stephanie Savage has suggested a traffic officer.
And that's before you go into that, we actually talked about that one earlier. Ms. Brian presented that to the board last week.
Okay.
It's about $1,000 a month for one officer in the morning.
Oh, wow.
So she told the board that they are considering possibly fundraising specifically for that. Obviously, if something comes up, we can see how we can partner. But yeah, we actually talked about that earlier because it's something that everyone knows is important. But she's already told the board that she's had someone for 5 days, that it helped, that they want it. So we can put on here the idea, because you said it, I mean, I think it's okay to put it in consideration. Maybe we could consider funding a month or so while the school figures out how to fundraise for the rest or something. So
yeah,
I'll write down $1,000. Right, and it pays for it.
Done.
Or, you know, we deposit the dimes and we have 7 months for
Perfect.
officers. I know.
So, I don't know if you saw the video on Instagram. I know it's played out. I'll get that now. I'm sorry. Of the major monsoon rainstorm that we had at the beginning of school, so the teachers working carpool.
yeah.
We need large golf umbrellas. And I know that's not
rain jackets.
huge. We have some rain jackets, but we need the umbrellas so we can get the kids back and forth to the car.
Oh, yeah.
The rain jacket is great for us, but then the kids are getting wet. The kids have umbrellas, but those big old whipping golf umbrellas would be fantastic if we had them for, we need a lot of them.
I don't think they're that. How many?
Do you have any idea how much they are?
I don't know how much they are. I would
I'll get on it.
$50 or something.
I don't consider that.
Do
you consider more than that?
I think
How many do you think we need?
I think there's something that's going to actually ban. Like,
There's 10 carpools.
Yeah, the good quality.
yeah, I just think for umbrellas, I want the cheap ones.
I mean, it's for us, but it's for the kids too. You know,
Oh my God.
So I'm seeing everything from 25, 15,
Yeah.
50.
I would, some.
If we want Under Armour,
like that.
Yeah, we don't need that for our.
35.
Like
So I'm seeing like 15 to 35.
And then along the same line, we covered walkways. We did get a post for that a few years ago.
Did you have that?
Ball parking. I looked for it today. I couldn't find it.
Which walkway would be like where they line up for carpool?
Well, that's negotiable. You know what I mean? So, I mean, ideally, they walk up to the lunchroom, I would say.
Yeah.
So then, because they go that way.
Up the lunchroom and then around the carpool.
Yeah, or even elementary carpool, because there's just a little guy, you know, it was $15,000 when I had it quoted. It's been 4 years, you know. So
that was, what did you quote? Did you quote the carpool or the walkway from
the walkway
all the way to the entrance?
Yeah. No, not all the way to the entrance, to the picnic table a lot. So that sidewalk starts just that whole stretch.
Okay.
Only contact
from the first building to this one? From the very first building all the way to this one?
Yeah, not around, just out of the door from the first grade hallway. It's been 4 years. I'm ballparking this. I did not find the exact photo today. I'll look for it again Monday when I'm back in. But that was just throw that out there.
Yeah. That's only good for straight down ramp.
Yeah. Well, that's true too.
Sideways ramp.
Or to the gym and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
And then I just had an idea that I thought could be fun, and that's purchase all the wish lists. You know, like Jimmy Fallon or who else does it?
Did you tally that up?
Did
you tally it all
I
up?
did not tally it up.
Well, and it's always growing.
It is. But that could be fun, you know. I was talking to somebody today, and we came up with that. That's really all I have. I mean, I could go on and on, but it's like.
Does anybody else have any ideas or things they've heard from parents? I'm going to check the comments.
Do you think we could get some company to sponsor the maker's space?
I have reached out to, so I've written a grant to Union Power Cooperative. I have written a grant to Jimmy Johnson Foundation. I have reached out to Siemens Engineering, my parents work there, to see if they would sponsor us. He actually just got back to me yesterday and said that they do not do grants for corporate sponsorships right now. So I'm trying that. Like I'm trying all the. I'm trying.
Do you have any idea what is the name of the company that will.i.am has? Because he does a lot of help with technologies in different schools.
Will.i.am?
Yes.
Like Black Eyed Peas will.i.am?
Yes. He is very, very involved in bringing technology to schools. So I know that he has worked with schools, but I'm not really sure if it's just the schools where, like, in neighborhoods where they don't have any money, or if like anybody that can, that is interested in bringing some good idea.
So I periodically look for technology grants. Samsung has one, Google has one. There are different ones. There are a lot of them that you have to meet the qualifications for to apply. And so some of those we don't meet the qualifications, but there are always new ones that are coming out. So if any of you ladies see a grant, this is a technology grant, do you think we may qualify for it? I am happy to look at it.
It's $700. It would get the makerspace off the ground. I think it's a much needed thing. I'm not saying like we decide, but I'm just saying this would, from the sounds of it, get you started.
Right.
And then the grants are more of a long-term sustain, like let's sustain it and keep it going.
And, cross your fingers, like we'll know on the Jimmy Johnson grant in November.
Oh, you haven't heard
the Union Power will know, I think that was in November as well. So, and we wrote it last year. So it's to cross your fingers and hope we get it. There are a lot of schools out there that need this stuff. We can't, as a school, it's hard to keep up with technology.
Just a cool thing to go through it, like I think is.
Well, honestly, I think we have the money in the project, and we don't have a gazillion people who can present stuff. Like, if we don't have a lot of other ideas, I say we just look through the ones that we have facts on. We can make some decisions today, and then make some decisions with what's left.
I agree.
Does anyone have any other ideas for us to?
I have a popular opinion idea.
It's a popular opinion. Don't tell me like that.
No, because I know, but I am a big believer. I love technology, and I agree with the kids can't think for themselves things. But I think it's an academic component here. I personally think that kids need access to Chromebooks.
I agree with that.
I think they need access for writing and research, and the whole world is connected these days. And while we need them to think outside of the box and use their imagination,
we also need them to be competitive, especially when if they're leaving here, they're going to Providence High School, they're going to Ardreytown High School. Those are high-functioning high schools that already expect them to know how to use laptops, that expect them to be internet savvy. I really think that this school needs to. I thought that they use South Charlotte. I know they do, but I think that this school needs.
No, they use them here. No, they use laptops here.
I think that kids also need to have. They can turn them in at the end of the day, but I think that they need every student needs a Chromebook.
Can you share what currently exists? Because that was something that was being. They purchased some last year, but not enough.
We bought a part of 20 Chromebooks because we wanted the teachers to use them. We didn't want to outfit the whole school with Chromebooks, which was a huge expense, and then decided we should self-serve tablets or iPads. So we wanted the teachers to use them. So we're testing them out in classrooms right now. Mrs. Morgan's class has them. She said she may cry when they go to the next class. A fifth grade class is getting them next semester, and I don't know who has them in the very first quarter. So each, I don't know if it's semester or not, but each quarter, another class will get Chromebooks. The part of Chromebooks is $5,000.
Well, how many is that part?
So 20.
20, okay. 5,000?
Well, so you're looking at licensing.
Yeah.
And
with all the software, that makes sense.
Yeah, there's $200 with each, and then we don't even have to have the card. We can glue some phrases together with Maker's Phrase. We'll 3D print something. And plug in, so, I mean, the card is not even a huge expense. It's the Chromebook. I will say, and this is a parent and a staff member, I have a kid that goes to Butler. He's on his Chromebook all day long. Our kids are in the Chromebook computer all day here. They're not, and our teachers actually teach the kids. They actually interact with them. And I'm very pro technology. I really am. But, I mean, that is a positive of not having a customer ratio. So if you need a silver lining, it's that, They're on screens when they get home, they might be on the Xbox, they're watching TV, they're on their phone, so at least here they're unplugged for a while. So if you need a silver lining, I offer you that as a parent.
And I like that as well. Yeah, I know she actually comes home with paper, right? And there's a couple things on the computer she has to do with math or other things, and I like that. But I also think that when they leave here, they need to be competitive.
I agree.
I understand that, but if you can be competitive only in using the technology and not creating anything to use it for, then we're not ever going to advance. Like we need
that can also be written into curriculum. That can be written into curriculum.
That's a huge hurdle.
So
that's a big. I agree with you. If that's a big, that's a big.
And maybe that's not a middle
writing it into curriculum.
To give this a tangible.
Maybe that's a high school thing.
I have an idea to give this a tangible thing to put in our consideration. If there's currently one cart, and we really think middle school maybe is where this would be needed, what if we put $10,000 towards considering a cart per grade level, and that way it can go into our consideration with a number on it.
Yeah.
Is that something you guys think
that's reasonable there?
Just so we can actually.
So that's three carts, right?
If one already
6,
exists.
7, 8. Oh.
They work with 3D printers.
So just to quantify it so we can actually evaluate it, because we can talk theory all day. I want to see what we can.
Has learned how to type,
They already is one, so that would be inspiring.
It's not
PowerPoint
saying
presentations on the.
It's not saying in middle school. The existing cart of Chromebooks is not saying it's rotating from
We're
grade
moving it around, but this is something else that you should know. When we get if we get new Chromebooks from middle school, all of the laptops we have up here get redistributed. You know what I mean?
Are they working?
Well, I mean.
Okay, so that's not a yes.
Yeah. We're going to be too old here. But any Chromebooks that are added, I mean, if we just had 5, then that's 5 laptops that can be. This is what a computer looks like.
All right. Anybody else have any more ideas? Because I know it is late, and if anyone has to leave, that's fine. If you guys want to stay and actually look through some of these, I'd be happy to.
I have one more little thing.
Oh, okay, sure.
Traffic cones. The tall one that has a loop at the top that you can tie like a caution tape thing to that people can't drive over.
How much do those cost?
I have no idea, but we need.
Do I need to get on the Amazon machine?
How many do you think
Y'all
you
can
need?
probably figure out how many, like, when you're driving through Parkville next time, you'll be, we need to go there, we need to go there, and I would say, I don't know, 6, 8?
Okay, both rivals. And to go with that, I have one more tiny little thing.
Yeah.
And it won't cost a lot of money. If we're going to make carpool better, we can make carpool spots, you know, when they go zone 1, zone 2, zone 3.
Yeah.
Well, my kid doesn't know where zone 3 is. Sometimes zone 3 is over here. Sometimes zone 3 is over here.
Or depending on how traffic
It
moves.
depends on
Yeah.
how.
But it's have more of a visual. So they have these really neat, they're plastic
It's parents,
aprons.
that's where the cars end up. That's how
Yeah.
And you also need someone out there saying, you know, be really mean. Let's do that.
We need nicer parents.
That's not going to happen. So it's just
I love you all.
Teachers will
All right, so to recap what we have here, and we're going to reverse order. Traffic cones, 6 to 8, we would need a price if anyone's actually looking that up.
So it's 6 cones, 28 inches is the height.
No, 28 inches are the ones that people drive
All
over.
right.
You're talking like 40.
I'm talking about the ones that are like this, you know what I mean? We have a couple.
All traffic cones
So
are
like
fine.
Yeah,
Okay, that needs a little research because this Amazon's not helping right now.
right, 36, yeah. You know, the ones where you can see the caution tape.
Yeah, they don't have them. We have to.
Ladies, I'm gonna go home. I appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
for staying, and if you have any questions about probably check your email.
All right, so if anyone can come up with a price on those, we can at least have a number. Chromebook, we put it at $10,000 for essentially 2 cards worth. Purchasing all the wish list items, no idea what that pricing would be, but that would be something we could do if we wanted to, with X amount of dollars. Large golf umbrellas, we had said, what, 20 at $35 each, just to get a number. So $350 for 10, $700 for 20.
Thank you, girl.
That one would benefit all grades and teachers, right?
Yeah.
Or no, teachers. That one was, well, no, the students at carpool too, right? So, yeah. Reusable. They just have to make sure they don't get left out and break. Not urgent, but would be nice, right?
What do we want left in the ring?
Oh, if we got large golf umbrellas, as far as maintenance
Oh, right,
required,
right.
like there shouldn't be maintenance if they're, you know, put away. But that would be a good point of if we decided to invest in that, where are they going to live? Like where they get stored. That's a lot of space for 20 umbrellas. Like where do those live? So their closet that the umbrellas live in.
And I would say for that, I don't know if you assigned a price to it, but I would say like median cost is probably going to be about $25 to $30.
I did 20 umbrellas at $35 each.
Okay,
perfect.
perfect.
$700.
Yep.
Yeah.
For the storage too, it can be just in the closet because they are wet. We
Yeah.
have a place where they
So
can
that would be
dry first. Before
some
you
sort
do
of
the
storage for
because
both
if not, you
buildings.
can.
2 or 3 buildings where it have to be stored. So let's just bump it up to around $1,000 because we don't know what storage would involve, tax, etc. All right, so the cover for carpool waiting, it sounded like this was sort of 2 different ideas, one being the walkway and then one being like covering where the kids would stand for carpool. So we
That would
would,
be something that we would have to save for maybe.
oh, for sure, multi-year probably.
Yeah.
But if it's something that we decided we wanted to put out to the vote, we would have to work on getting a quote for it and get it approved. But, you know, this is one of those things that would have to go through the whole process, but we would know if parents cared if everybody wanted it.
Because I think at some point one of the Boy Scout troops that sponsored some of the stuff in the school thought about doing some kind of yarning, but then the parent that was an architect or an engineer, whatever, like, couldn't help them. So maybe they had an idea I think that might was have information, so maybe give an idea of how much it costs to do it. I can ask.
So we would need a price, but that is definitely something we can consider. Take over some space. Traffic officer, I put down 1,000. That would be covering 1 month of it while the school figures out the cost and everything else.
Yeah, I don't think that's something.
I don't either, but I'm going to put
I'm
them all out, and then we're going to knock down the ones that we don't think fit the criteria, and then we'll go from there. Makerspace, about $700 to get it started. Tablecloths, $500 to $600 for a few tablecloths. Safety enhancements resource officer, we would need some pricing on what that investment would be, and what enhancements we and the school would want. So that one we need a little bit more information on. Fencing, same thing, we probably need some information.
But the thing with that one is it's going to take a lot of different parts moving. We're going to have somebody surveilling the area. Where do we have the fencing?
One of the things that goes along lines with the covering, like it would be a big, the school would have to decide.
And now that I think of too, if the school is already, if the school doesn't have an idea of exactly what they're going to do, where they're going to build the new buildings and everything, if we really think about this one, I don't think that's something we can
I'm thinking probably not either. As factor, even we just don't know what their big plan is.
So
we don't know where the fencing is.
Yeah.
So
I know, but it's weird for us to be like this. I'm starting to think if no one's going to show up for it. Ballard's mic, $3,000 for the mic, $11,000 for the total makeover, and all that. All right, so let's immediately just see which ones we want to take off the table.
Yeah, the fencing.
Yeah.
Traffic officer. Okay.
Can we do them? Well, I don't think we should have to pay for it, but 1 month to see if it really improves the situation. Then we can
You want to leave it on the table?
Look, here. Look to the traffic or the retail.
I think we need to just deposit the dime. I mean, really, that would pay for the school year.
That's a whole
year. Not being used. I definitely wrote it.
That was a Mr. Frederick thing.
It needs to, someone, it's just like anything else. It's like purging, except it's money. Like, why are we, someone has to just be like, oh, we're allowed to do this because we make the rules.
Right.
My thing with the other is, it's something that the school is already looking at. I think that it would be kind of unfair for us to put a lot of money in this when, with the same amount, we could cover the makerspace and the tablecloth instead of having 1 month of officers, which is something that the school is already.
I got in my car this afternoon and I was like, where did I put that? I was in so much, did I leave in your office?
Yeah, an officer.
Those are my keys.
At least somebody for a week. We are looking into it. If we are going to spend the money for the months until they get their things together, I think it's going to be kind of like a waste for us.
I agree. I'm just afraid they're going to look into it for like 2 years. That's all. I mean, you know,
yeah, I
like they're looking
understand that.
into it.
But if they are already, there's so much concern and so many parents that approach them and they are already looking into it, I don't want to end up like wasting money when we could cover other things.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so the only thing we've taken off for sure is the fence. Any other things you guys for sure? I feel like the things we don't have quotes on would be hard to really make a decision on right now.
Can we make a tentative pile? Like, we need more information.
Absolutely.
Maybe there's some that we can put in the no pile, and then the tentative, and then the I don't know.
Okay, so I'm going to go one by one. Sarah, the no pile's in front of you. Mayor, the maybe pile's going to be next to you. And on my computer is going to be that we really like this pile. You like my system? Mm-hmm. Okay. Makerspace. Yes, we like it. That was not makerspace. Makerspace. All right. Ballard's mic.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Traffic officer.
No.
I think it's not even
no. All right. Well, why don't we just legit? Okay. I hear no. I hear no or maybe.
No.
I would wait if school's gonna
Traffic officer?
No.
Or a tentative, like let's
maybe.
So we have two maybes. What about you guys? maybe or no?
No for me, because I want the school to pay for that.
Yeah, that needs to be cool. I mean, if you think
I know it's silly for me, I'd rather the resource officer, but it's so unrealistic that,
Let's put it in the note pile, but I will bring up the dime because maybe they haven't thought of it and that's the way it could happen like right now.
Or in the Senate pile.
In the what?
In the Navy pile. But
Well, I got a lot of no's. That's why I was going to say it went straight to the no. If any,
that's fine. That's fine.
I have to just like pressure school a little bit to move faster on it instead of wasting the money.
Golf umbrellas, 700 for 20 approximately golf umbrellas, or 1,000 for golf umbrellas and some storage.
yeah.
I'm assuming no one else spoke up. I heard one yesterday. A cover for the carpool waiting zone and or covered walkway. Obviously, big needs a lot of information, right?
I think we have to put in maybe for the future.
Chromebooks. 2 carts, $10,000 for approximately 40 Chromebooks.
I think that can go in the need more information.
What do we need?
If we're going to do if we could start with the middle school, so like you said, if we took, and we didn't give the 5th grade, and 4th grade, and 3rd grade rotation of the Chromebooks, and just kept it for middle school, then those iPads that they're using now can go to the rotation for the lower grades. And they're not as critical, I don't think, in the lower grades. And so then we're looking at 2 carts, which is about, I just looked it up, $10,000, and then 6, 7, 8 has access, and they'd have to rotate it just like they would the Makerspace. They would just have to rotate it, and they can go to Google Maps, and maybe even write a little curriculum of why you need this particular thing, or whatever. Or it can only be used for ELA, or it can only be used for math, or something like that. But I think the technology needs to be used.
I think ask for the Chromebook.
I think we have to ask administration what are their thoughts if this year they are just trying because what they have in mind is like if it works this year, next year they're gonna buy Chromebooks for everybody, or like what is their mindset?
They wanted to try out the actual Chromebook and see if they would rather.
So I guess that makes sense. They're trying, and then you're lost in ThinkPads.
And they're trying something alongside with the Chromebook, so they have something to.
It didn't sound like that,
but
it
sounds like they want to try it, they like it, and they're going to invest in it.
So why don't we put
I would
this
say more
in
information.
the maybe, and then find out what their plan is. Because again, we don't want to try to fund something they're already planning to fund.
Right.
But then if it's something that the parents wanted, then so we can do
And is there a need too? I would want to know that. Like, can all the teachers in all subjects really use them effectively in the classroom? I'm assuming yes, but.
Tablecloths or any sort of enhancements, I put 500 to 600.
It just needs to be updated.
I agree.
Resource officer safety enhancement.
I love it. I don't think it's realistic.
10 or 2.
So we need to know what that would involve.
I can definitely get a I've been working on it for a few years now.
So what other enhancements beyond the safety officer did you have in mind that are tangible things? Because if we are not allowed to maybe fund grades for somebody's salary, like is there something, I know people have commented in the past, something on doors, like is there something that we could put as an enhancement in the school?
I don't have something else just because the school, they can't, everything is open and very easy to access.
And that's why I heard a lot of parents saying about fencing or bushes or something that
I just don't.
Okay, so we need
we're locked.
We're locked.
So we need to decide what, something specific.
My husband's on it in campus. They don't even lock the door. That would freak me out. At least we're locked. We're locked down.
One of the things that the discussion that was reading was since it's so open, it's easy for somebody to get close to the building and hide.
Or you can't.
That's why I know, but it's one of the
But every school's like that. I don't know any schools that are like completely like gated.
Right, exactly.
I don't know. And
The only thing that have a lot similar that we do.
yeah, exactly. A lot of the schools will love to open for anybody to walk in.
Yeah. Charlotte Country Days like that.
Totally
Totally open
open
campus, open doors.
Purchasing items off the wish list, there's no specific number on that, but we could decide if we want to allocate a few $100s towards seeing what items we can buy, or is that something you want to have for consideration?
Is it the wish list?
Yeah, just, there was nothing specific on it.
Part of that is, I mean, I don't know, are we buying like disposable goods? Are we buying stuff that's going to break in a week? Or, you know?
Well, my initial thought on it too is
Yeah,
it kind of is counterproductive on why the wish list was created. The wish list was created for parents to buy things that earn hours.
Exactly.
And if we did,
I guess the idea behind it is constantly filling up. So, I mean, we could hypothetically buy everything today, and then tomorrow there's a whole new.
I just
it's
don't.
almost like
Or they call it.
I just don't like say we'll donate $100 for it.
Yeah, right.
Well, we already give money to teachers at the beginning of the year.
That's
we
true.
do a lot of other things.
I would say no.
Yeah, they know. They know the wish list.
That's
It's
for
not
parents to
tangible
do.
enough.
Yeah, it's not a
And we can't, it would affect certain classes, not the whole, we want to be as comprehensive as we can. The tall traffic cones, we would need a price, but is that something we
They're
want to?
between $23 and $35 for a set of 10.
Sarah, how tall are they?
These are 36 inches. That's as tall as they go.
Okay. Because I only
And this is at Uline. My sister works at Uline. I could probably call her and see if we can get a discount.
Do they have
350, maybe less.
Are there signs that go in them?
You can.
Okay.
Like idiot, don't
You can.
drive
I mean, if
over
we
me.
can even get like the
I can't understand how they go over those.
Yeah.
I mean, those are an option too.
I'm a fan. I say yes for the traffic. I think it's a small investment and it's effective.
Yeah.
It's really helpful.
For example, a couple of things.
And then maybe invest in something else. That's what I want us to look at, and that's why I'm glad you guys are willing to stay. So let's, who wants to do some math?
Because I think that we
Treasure.
do.
I'm over
here.
It's your title.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You have to put for your title.
The 5 items we have put in the all like it pile is not the full 7,000. So what Mary and I were just chatting, let's see how much this would cost, and then maybe the additional we decide what we save for. Like what's the big thing we save for? So we can decide if we. So the umbrellas we were looking at 1,000. You're a math. Tablecloths, let's say 600. I'm going on the higher end of things. Traffic cones, 350. Mics, 3,000. Makerspace, 700. So we'd be looking at 50.
I think we could cover all of it.
So is there any way that we could, since we have some money left over, that we could fund a little bit more for the sound system? Or do we want to just stick with
We
like,
already have
Yeah,
like 1,500 almost
Yeah,
left over with these.
but then what we could do is put out, we could put to a vote these 3 items and say we don't know the cost of them yet. But
Which 3 are they?
Safety enhancements, resource officer, Chromebooks, and walkway or carpool covering. We could say we don't have quotes on these. It could be several years until we have the money for them, because we'd be starting with 1,500, which isn't going to get us very far very fast. But if we knew what the parents want, we could start saying, okay, well, we'll save for this. Because of that, I would say it leans towards it being maybe something like that carpool thing, because it's something that could be, okay, when we have it, we have it. You know, like it's something to work towards. But and when we have our
When you say the carpool, like what carpool thing? What do you mean? Like,
Mary said like a covering for where the kids stand and for carpool zones, not necessarily on the walkways, but where they're standing.
Yeah. Like having some kind of
Or that walkway. So I kind of have them on the same page, so they're sort of
for the
everything.
rain.
Yeah.
So my only thing, I mean, if we're weighing the 3 tentatives, like that's awesome when it's raining. Where something like Chromebooks is a benefit to our kids every single day during school.
Right. But at the same time, the Chromebook, the technology can change. The cover is going to stay until the buildings fall apart.
Yeah, it will change. Yeah, you're right.
Both things have like their.
Well, I mean, I bought rain jackets for the carpool teachers. I bought 2 of them, and I enlisted some friends to buy a couple more. And I don't know if anybody was here on that afternoon carpool when the rain was like, I mean, Galanis, her umbrella was like shredded, and she was soaked in. I just went home, and I'm like, my heart was bleeding for them. So I bought them the full, and it hasn't rained in like 50 days. So I got that.
But the thing is, for kids too, you can buy that for the teachers, but then you have the kids waiting for the rain.
I know.
But that's where we put it to a vote and we let the parents tell us what they want. And that's what we can, if the voice is clearly going one direction, so we could put very vaguely.
But we don't have a quote for that.
Chromebooks, we don't have a quote for carpool and covered walkway. I mean, it's 4 items we could list. Very, very much like we don't know what these cost. Is this something? And beyond that, it's us saying, we could then go to the school and say, look, maybe it was like an overwhelming amount of parents wanted this one thing. Be like, look, this is something the parents want. Like, we can pay for it, but you might be able to get there faster.
Right. Well, but I think we have to do that with the Chromebooks. I would wait to put it out there until we know what the plan of administration is.
Yeah, we have to ask them.
If they are planning on next year buying Chromebooks for everybody, then why are we going to waste the time even?
All right, so
Are we allowed to fundraise?
Not without permission. We have to be very specific. Like, we would have to say, we want to fundraise for this, and we're going to do this to do it. So that's what we wrote into our, and I put it in a report last May, that any money we have left over, we want to put into this account and save for something, and we'll ask the parents what it is. So we're following up on that. We would have, if we had like, okay, all the parents wanted the carpool thing, and it was going to be $40,000. If we wanted to fundraise specifically for that, we would have to come up with the idea, ask permission, get approval to do it. The issue in the way our school is structured, we're not the main fundraising avenue. They would probably come at it as, well, there's all these other things we want. You're taking away by doing, they would have to say, well, it wasn't one of our priorities. Why are you not fundraising for one of these things we already want? And they could come at us with this anyway, but that's where the sunshades would never happen, the water bottle stations. They were things that were not in their list, but it's what the parents asked for. And so we are able to do something they might not be prioritizing, but it's still great. And so that's kind of what I think. But if we wanted to fundraise specifically for it, we would have to come at them with like, we want to do this fundraiser and here's why, and they'd have to approve it before we could do anything.
If we would open the door on Sunday and cash those dimes in, they would have almost 20 grand done. I just think it's crazy. Open the doors.
By the way, how to fix when we talk about doing the kind of like the fast pass for dropping kids off. I think that there's a way we can do it.
Oh, I love that idea.
Using the entrance to the outer lot, there's 2 lots. If we do one that goes around, leave the kid right there and come back out, and the other one
by like 3 o'clock close to school. People who are in this area can't get out.
Not like for drop off or.
Oh no, it's for both use.
I love the idea of a fast pass though.
But I mean, if they're already policing this entrance off of 50, then I mean, someone has to be there by 7:50 anyway to put the cones up. Why not extend it at least till 8 o'clock, and they can enter from.
Because if they can do that little circle,
and then they can still do their.
Oh, like the first, or we could get them like a special thing.
Like give them a thing they get.
Yeah, that's true. They could just come in that way with their permission.
with like a permission thing. That could be a fun raffle.
Because I think that a lot of clients would be willing to pay for that.
First semester, I mean, I don't know.
Amy and I down here were like, what, I mean, they've already made $100 on her and I.
Yep.
Like, we paid $50 a year for that. Yeah.
So who likes that idea?
What?
Of doing some sort of a fundraiser for carpool. I mean, carpool fast pass.
I think
I thought it was great for the first time.
Especially with all the controversy with carpool right now. Like, give them something to look forward to. Like,
because if you do, like, okay, we're doing this, and this is going to pay
what if
for
everybody buys it?
Yeah. Who wants a faster pass? The faster pass is $100. The faster pass? Really good. Faster pass is only $50.
The idea was that it's a raffle. Everyone that buys a raffle ticket, whoever wins gets the pass.
Oh, okay.
So it could be monthly, it could be quarterly, it could be however
Or you
want to
can
do it.
say, like, we have each month, we have this many people to do it. So first come, first serve.
Yeah.
We have, like, I don't know, like 10 families a month. And then, like,
what if we tie it to volunteer hours? Whoever has the most volunteer hours, or
that I would be in and out in a second.
They won't even see you.
You're going to have to start tracking my hours.
To increase, yeah, I know, but to increase
up a number
for
here
paycheck.
if you did it in book 36. And I
Can't we just
think
no.
I have never logged 1 hour.
Because I'm here every day, and they just know.
150 or 100.
My name's on that list.
I got that
Every semester.
I think there's a lot
Yeah.
of ways to do it.
I
But you use, usually when you use these entrance, you do that big circle and then people carpool.
All right, so I think that this could be a really interesting way of earning a little extra money, which I know is not even on line of what we were doing, but depending on what we picked, we could then say, hey, now we're going to do this thing to help fundraise for it. Why don't I get some feelers on the 3 ways, by first come, first serve, by an auction, or a raffle? Ask administration if they would be willing to explore the idea, and then we can chat about it on the group meeting and kind of see if they think it'd be something we could do. We could figure out the logistics of making it happen. I think we'll have people actually interested.
So we're buying, like, we would buy raffle.
Well, there's 3 different things we could do, and so I'm going to get the feel on could we even explore this option, because we don't want to put a lot of time into it and then like say like that you're not doing that.
Right.
First come, first serve is going to be kind of hard because we, like, how are we selling it?
And we'll make way more if we were to do it.
Better.
Yeah.
So if they have a fast pass, how are they going to get in if they're in line for a
Well, we
carpool?
said maybe they have something up that allows them to turn in up until, 8, they can turn in and then pull in.
On
before-
Sunfield?
Yeah, and like they pulled in before 3:25, they could be the first one to pick up, and they could, if they do.
Before then everyone's down.
Yeah, they could be the first one in and out. So, and regardless of the grade, if everyone knew, okay, that kid gets picked up there, then that's just what they do.
Right,
They're like the prime star of the school.
So are you proposing monthly, like monthly thing?
I'm going to get a good feel of it when I bring it up, and then we can chat on GroupMe with some specifics if it's something that we're allowed to explore. It seems like an easy way to make money, and if we're willing to do the
I'm just thinking like underground market for like the fat dad.
Yeah.
Hey, I was selling my turning sign.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Who wants it? I'll make copies.
So for the 5 that we've all said we want, that is about 56.50. Do we feel comfortable voting on that ourselves, or do you feel that we should still release it out to all the families and get them to approve it as well?
I just think that we are very comfortable and this is something that necessary needs to be done. Let's just go ahead and do it.
And we gave everyone a chance to come here and talk about it.
And we're still, I mean, are we still
giving them a choice?
I was going to say, are we proposing that we put those 3 items on the?
That's what we'll work on.
We covered this already, and then the parents can choose from these 3 which ones we work for.
And for our financial side of things, we would be not able to do any of these this year. And so we are then allowing a little bit more of a buffer. Basically, we're putting some money in a project account, and it's essentially a reserve as well. So we are, however, going to tag it to whatever's approved, so we shouldn't be able to take the money from it. But in dire case of something happened and we aren't going to, I don't think it'll come up, but we would be then acting, we wouldn't be spending it all. So, all right, so let's, each person who's presented this, will you try to actually get some, even if we don't have a specific number, just say ballpark or some more, maybe write a 2-sentence description of the item by Monday,
Yes.
and then we can put it out to the families. That it really just an initial poll of we would like to start saving and or fundraising towards our next big gift to the school. Here's the 4 ideas that were presented, which rank them. I mean, they don't even have to say which one. We could just say rank them in order, and then that way if the school vetoes item number 1, we can see who is next. So, all right, so you're going to look into,
you know, we're a public school, but I get certain things we don't get, like everybody else. I guess this is one of those.
Yeah. So, Fran, you're going to find out about any sort of safety.
Yes.
Amy, you're the idea on Chromebooks. Do you feel comfortable talking to Ms. Brighton about what currently exists, or do you want me to do that?
Oh, I can reach out to that.
And you let her know it's the reasoning, like we just want to make sure we can not put this on there if they already have a plan. And then the cover for the carpool, would you be interested in finding out? And I would say break it into 2. We had it as like the carpool, the elementary and upper, and then also a walkway. And you can go multi-tiered, like small walkway, full walk, you know, whatever. Yeah. If you can get, and then we might not have real estimates, but if you can say it's going to be $150,000 or it's going to be,
I know it's not going to be cheap.
Yeah, but that's great for us to be able to tell these families, because they're saying, hey, it would be great if we had a walkway. If we can say, okay, we can. What are you going to do to help us get there?
Is that considered structural? I mean, because like so, we'd have to have buy-in from the school, right?
Oh yeah. Any of these we would have to get buy-in. I feel like
before we throw it up for a vote.
I think we can get a vote even if the school doesn't approve us doing it, because we're just getting the pulse of the parents. We can.
I would just hate for something like everybody wants this, but the school's not going to approve it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think anything on here would be completely rejected. I think it's not a priority compared to other things. But if we could then come to the Board of Trustees and say, look, every parent, like 80% of the people who took this poll want a walkway.
Right.
You guys are the facilities. Is this something you can put into your plan? Can we partner with one of your fundraisers to make it more successful if you write this in the plan? Or, you know, we might be able to do this in a different way than we originally planned to. But I don't mind us getting the feel of what the parents want anyway. Like last year, a million people, when we did our election, we added a line in there for what would you want next year's item to be. And a ton of people talked about enhancing that courtyard down there. But nobody said that today. But it was like one of the biggest things. I was like, dang, all these people want the courtyard between the kindergarten buildings to be nicer. Like, but I mean, I thought that was going to be one of the things we got, and it wasn't. So it's not on the list. It doesn't mean they didn't want it last year. It just means we brought it today. But
I think that also is like not everybody's going to use it. If it is like already like a second grade,
well, especially now that it's like
people are going to be like, I don't care about it. So
okay, so let's just make this official, and then we can call it a night and look into that. I'm going to say it out loud, and then somebody we can do it all at once since we all verbally agreed. A motion to approve $700 for makerspace, $3,000 to purchase 6 wireless mics, $350 to purchase 10 traffic cones, $600 to purchase some tablecloths, and $700 to purchase up to 20 large golf umbrellas. No, 1,000, because we talked about storage. I need to write that up. $1,000 for golf umbrellas and some sort of storage. Who would like to make a motion to approve everything I just said? I'm making a motion. Who will second? I'll second. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? No. Fantastic. What a great way to spend money tonight. All right, and then we'll do some research on the others. Anybody have anything else?
This has nothing to do with anything, it's just
something. You want me to close it, or is it PFI? Ooh.
No, it's just a random thing.
Okay, well, let me close the meeting,
Okay,
and then, so we can adjourn at 9:10 p.m. The meeting, motion to close the meeting. Sarah second. Thank you for always reminding me I have to do that. I don't know. Yeah. Always. I'm tired of you. Yeah, and I glazed right at you because you said it like the last. All right, meeting's ready. Let me.
What's your random thing?